Awesome. Love that intro, Joe, man. You got to tell me who got it, just like Brando said. Anyways, guys, we are here to end off Sunday, the first ever Guy at the Movies virtual film festival. And I'm so happy that I could be the one that ends it off. Hey, we got here a little fashionably late, guys, but it's totally okay. Hope you guys are doing well on your evening Sunday. And we are going to end it with one of my favorite movies of 2019, 2020 even. I keep watching this movie over and over again. It is Parasite, and we will go over all the ins and outs of it and just kind of dysfunctional families and just everything that has to do with this movie and movie-related news of this movie. So I wanted to pull in a couple people, and you guys will notice that on this watch-along, it's a lot of brand new faces. I don't usually have these guys on, but I'm glad that we can get them on, and we are going to start with Jaron, who is Jaron Talks Movies. I love this kid's channel, man. His graphics are amazing. What's going on, Jaron?
Hey, how's it going, David? I'm happy to finally be on your channel. I've been wanting to join one of these for a while, and what better way than to talk about the best movie of 2019?
Yes, most definitely, man. And I've been doing watch-alongs all month, so it's great that I could end this month of August with this movie with you guys. But yeah, let people know about your channel, and I have all your links down below, by the way. But what kind of stuff that you do on your channel?
All right, sweet. So yeah, pretty much my motto is live it, breathe it, talk about it. So everything movie related, new movie reviews, old movie reviews, rankings, reactions, all that stuff. I like to cover it all. I even do some television reviews every once in a while. So I'll be reviewing Tenet on Monday. I'll also be reviewing Lovecraft Country. That's just some of my stuff coming up. But yeah, like you said, all my links are down in the description. So go down and follow me down there.
Tenet, man. You saw it. I hate you.
No, I see it Monday, so I'm not like.
Oh, you're seeing it Monday.
Yeah, I see it Monday.
Well, you're still more special than me, man, because we cannot see anything in California right now. So
yeah, that's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're actually getting worse. So I probably won't see Tenet until 2022. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for being here, Jaron, man. It's a pleasure. And we also have someone who I did a watch along with a long time ago. It seems like years ago, but we got him here now. It is Sean from Movie Burb. Sean, what's going on, man?
What's going on, David? Happy to be here talking about, I think this is going to be a consensus, the best movie of 2019. And this was on my list of the best movies of the decade. So excited to be here to talk about this movie.
That's awesome, man. Thank you so much for joining us, and let the people know if they haven't seen your face before. I see that Parasite book in the back, by the way. Someone tagged me in that.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
It's so cool.
Yeah. We'll have to go over that during some time in the stream, but let people know where they can find you and what you do on your channel.
Yeah, definitely. So movieburb.com is the blog, and Instagram at movieburb. I do movie reviews and lists and things like that. September is typically a busy month for me because I start school. So there's going to be a lot of reviews of movies that I watch for classes, as well as I'm finally biting the bullet and going to be featuring my 100 favorite films of all time in the month of September. So make sure to be looking out for that.
Wow. That's a feat right there. I'm actually really excited for that.
That was a hard list to make.
Hey, I'm digging that shirt you're wearing, by the way, Sean.
Oh, the Batman, yeah.
That's the
brand new one. That's the brand new one.
Just got it in the mail yesterday.
Yeah, we were just talking about how epic that trailer was, how epic, and it's only like what 20% done or something, 25%. That was like the rumor,
25 to 30 or something. Yeah.
Jesus, and they came out with that epic ass trailer. That's awesome. Love it, man. All right, someone who is at least new to being on camera, as far as I am concerned, but we got her on here. It's Eve from Cinemantics. How's it going, Eve?
Hi. Yeah, this is like my first time, I think, that I've been like with the camera and everything. Yeah. Sure.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad you can be here with us this Sunday evening, and let the people know where they can find you and what you do on your channel.
Yeah, you can find me at Cinemantics, CINE.mantics on Instagram. And basically I cover movies, like independent movies, horror movies. More recently, I've been covering series. I covered I May Destroy You. I have a Love Victor review coming out, and hopefully maybe I'll talk about Lovecraft Country soon. I know a lot of people are covering that, so that, yeah, it's a really great show.
Yeah, that's one that after this, I think I'm going to have to catch up on that one, because we do like some kind of spoiler review as well. that show is really just throwing me for a loop. I don't know if the rest of you guys have seen Lovecraft. I know Jaren has, right?
Yeah.
That's all you can say is
it.
woo. Oh, Sean, you got to get on that, man. That's a doozy. It's we've only had 2 episodes so far, and they both seem so different yet so similar. I don't know how to describe it. It's pretty bonkers, but yeah, it is. We're here to talk about Parasite, so let's jump back on Parasite, and I will be introducing my last guest. It is Mania Daniel. How's it going? Someone that has an incredible horror channel too. You post some great you have a lot of great
Thank
posts
you.
on Instagram, so I'm glad that we could finally have you on this watch along. So how you doing tonight?
I'm great. It's really hot, it's LA.
Yeah, we were just there the other day, and man, it's they got some of the best food, like little restaurants and stuff. But the weather. We were out on Melrose actually, and like people were like filming music videos out there, and just people just like Instagram models and walking around. I'm like, this is like what Instagram is in real life. Like people walking around. Like it seems like I don't know, but it's pretty crazy out there. But yeah, it has been hot though. I actually have my AC running, but yeah, let the people know what you got going on in your channel or your page.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram at Horror Mania, and I guess the name kind of says it all. I am covering anything from horror, action, sci-fi, and thriller, which is my favorite genres right there. And my favorite month is coming up, October, so I'll be busy doing a lot of fun stuff. I have a few things planned, collaborations and whatnot, so hope to see you guys there joining me on the fun.
Yes, most definitely. I think I'm gonna have to kind of just plan a little better for September, for the month of October, because I feel like we always like kind of rush it, but now we have like a month coming up where we can plan for all the horror stuff, right? So
right.
that should be fun. But yeah, once again, guys, all their links are down below in the description. Make sure you guys are hitting the thumbs up and subscribe on this video as well. And subscribe to all their channels as well. So without further ado, let's see if we can jump into this. I don't want to get too late into it because it is a 2 hour and 12-minute movie, I think it is.
Yes.
2 hour 12. Yeah. So that 2 hour goodness. I do have it on Blu-ray. How are you guys watching it tonight?
Hulu.
Same here.
You got Hulu. Oh,
But I do have
Voodoo.
Yeah.
Hulu.
Oh, there you go. And yeah, we will get this started in 1 second, guys. So if you guys aren't sure about a watch along, what we do is we kind of just sync it all up to our copies and we press play at the same time. I will do a countdown, 3-second timer, and then I'll give you guys timestamps throughout the movie, and then we'll just kind of talk, just offer commentary throughout. So make sure you guys have your copies set on 0, double zeros, triple zeros, and let's get ready for this Parasite watch along. I'm so excited. So here we go. We'll start it in my panel. Ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. 3, 2, 1. All right. Very, very sweet. And this is a movie that, I always watch movies in subtitles, but this is the movie I have to watch it actually in subtitles because I don't know Korean. But that's totally fine. And yeah, make sure you guys have your copies on subtitles as well, and the volume's down if you guys can. It's funny because sometimes I've started watch-alongs and people were like, oh, wait a minute. After I started, and they're like, are you doing the extended cut? Are you guys doing this, that? Thankfully, there's only one cut of this movie. So what I do like to ask you guys kind of going in these first-time watches is, what was your experience with the movie? So can you tell me, Jaren, your first time watching Parasite?
This was my first ever foreign film. Like, I never watched the movie with subtitles up until this point. And
Wow.
I just got to say, I was completely blown away. I did a ranking for all the movies nominated for Best Picture, so this is one that I had to knock out. I didn't get to see it in theaters or anything like that, but I bought it as soon as it came out on Blu-ray, and I just could not believe how much I liked the movie. I watched it again right after I saw it the first time just because it was that good, and it kind of introduced me to a whole new world of all these foreign films, subtitle films, all this stuff. I love the movie.
Yeah, and I think all the awards, and we'll talk about that in a second, but all the awards that it did get, I think opened people's minds to international film as well. But that's crazy too. Can I ask how old you are?
I'm 17.
Oh, okay. I knew you were a youngin', but just for the fact that, you said this is your first international film. And it's crazy because, they're introducing more and more, Korean drama, just Chinese dramas, like either in TV shows or movies on Netflix. So I think people are getting more, used to and adjusted to kind of seeing this content. and they're really liking it. That's the whole thing, is they're really, really liking it. I just keep hearing a lot of good things. I think my mom's even watching a lot of Korean dramas on Netflix that she wouldn't normally watch. So she's always telling me to check them out. So it's pretty interesting. But Sean, what was your first experience with Parasite?
So not to be braggy or anything, but the last few years, I've made an effort to go to Toronto, to go to the film festival every September. And this was the first movie that I saw at the film festival last year. I literally was flying from Chicago for work. I got off the plane, and 3 hours later, I was in the theater seeing this movie. And
Wow.
I was absolutely blown away. Like, my jaw was on the floor just watching how great this movie was and how it went from turn to turn. And we'll definitely get more into it later. But if you haven't seen this movie yet, and I don't know how you have, but yeah, it just knocks you for a loop. It's an amazing film.
Yeah. And yeah, this kind of set the mark. Not even like, I feel like even before, like with the cinephile community, before it got all the awards it did, we all knew that this was going to be a contender amongst like a lot of the Hollywood movies that it went up against. And I don't know, maybe I'm just speaking for myself, but I was like, it's up there against the juggernauts,
Right.
but it might not win. That's what I thought. That for some reason it wouldn't win all these awards, and it ended up just totally being the opposite. And I was just like, wow, this is taking on a life of its own. And I think people are really appreciating it for what it is. And it's not anything that's CGI heavy. I mean, maybe a couple of knife scenes at the end, but there's nothing that's really, the budget. I don't know. Do you guys know offhand anybody the budget on this film? That's something that I should have had pulled up, but just kind of curious. Parasite
Budget 11 million.
11 million. Okay, and I want.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Okay, and the box office is 264 million.
Ooh.
264.5. Amazing. So October 5th, 2019, it did come out. I did not see this one in theaters at all. I caught it on physical, like most people did.
Yeah.
I don't remember if this got limited runs in the U.S. heavy. Do you guys remember that?
I feel like it did, because it was represented as an independent film, so I don't think it was like widespread.
Okay.
All the theaters around me actually played them. I even have one theater that played it in black and white. I just missed it.
Whoa.
I'm really wishing I would have been able to see it.
I do remember hearing about that version of that coming out. And actually, I wanted to kind of jump back, Jaron, because you said you picked up the Blu-ray. I was there on day one picking up the Blu-ray too, and then like a month later they came out with a freaking 4K, and then I was like, why would they do that?
And now they have the Criterion coming out in October.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn it, dude. I still see it. I always pass it by when I'm walking at Best Buy, and I'm like, should I just buy it and just have a couple copies like left over? I don't know. I'm kind of.
The 4K transfer is actually really good on it.
Is it really? See, because I'm always kind of weary with newer movies, because sometimes I can't really 100% tell the difference, but it's usually older transfers, like older horror movies to 4K. I can like totally notice the difference on that. But yeah. So jumping to Miss Mania over here, your first time experiencing Parasite.
First off, Jaron, you're so lucky that this was your first horror movie. Because I'm sorry, not horror movie, foreign movie. You could tell from my words that. but no, you're really lucky that you ended up seeing this first. But my experience was, I have an hour commute home from work, and there's an AMC in between work and my home. So I just literally randomly bought a ticket to go see it because I had a friend who had seen it at a film festival and just raved about it. So I was like, okay, I'll go watch it. I literally knew nothing about it except it's directed by Bong Joon-ho, and it did not disappoint. It was so good. I laughed, I gasped, I felt sad. I loved it so much, and it was a great experience because everyone in the theater is there to see the movie, unlike those big budget blockbuster ones. So yeah, everyone was there enjoying it.
Yeah, and talk about laughs. This is kind of like one of those scenes where it's almost like not intentionally funny, but they're celebrating that they have the Wi-Fi back and they got paid for, even though they got like a price cut for like messing up some of the boxes of the pizza. They're still celebrating, and this is like I think I had read that this actual house, I might be wrong, but the actual house that they're staying in was like created specifically for this movie. Like this doesn't actually exist, but like this lower end tier. But it looks to me like this could be some kind of basement level actual place out there in South Korea. So I think this world building. I mean, obviously, when we see the family too, we see the dynamics and the contrast of what they're going through, and just them simply celebrating Wi-Fi together, the family with beards and stuff like that, is extremely funny to me. And yeah. But Eve, your first time watching Parasite.
So I actually watched this film for the first time, I want to say maybe 6 to 9 months before they announced the nominations.
Okay.
And at that time, not a lot of people were familiar with Parasite. I was like telling people, you should go watch this film. You should go watch it. And they're like, I've never heard of that movie. I saw it on bootleg. Okay. Like I saw it on the website. I saw it on the website. And just like Mania, I didn't know anything about it. Nothing. I actually watched it by mistake because I thought it was a different film. So I was like, oh yeah, I thought it was the anime, because they have an anime called
oh, they do. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So I thought it was that. I thought it was that one. So I was like, oh yeah, that looks pretty cool. So I watched it thinking it was that movie, and then it was this, and no regrets. This movie was awesome, and it was like everything to me. It was comedic, it was suspenseful, it was like a thriller, and it was not predictable whatsoever. Like not at all.
Yeah, most definitely. No, I could hear that. At some points, it almost feels like a couple movies kind of compressed in one, because halfway through, things take a drastic left turn, and then it seems like a whole nother movie, and then like the ending of it seems like a whole nother movie. And I think that just comes back to the great writing and acting, obviously, from this cast here. The only one that I was really familiar with, maybe you guys have seen, it was the father. I don't know the actor's name, but he was in a lot of movies before. I think he might have possibly been in Snowpiercer and The Host.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of stuff with Bong Joon-ho.
Exactly. Yeah. So I was a lot more familiar with that character than the rest of the family, but they all totally blew me away once again. So yeah. And I feel like when I was, same thing, Eve, when I was telling everybody to watch it, they're like, Parasite, is that a scary movie? Like, it sounds like a scary movie. Just the name Parasite was, people thought it was a horror movie. And I told them, I said, at first I really didn't know either. I kind of went into it just like, I didn't know what to expect. I thought a monster was going to pop out at the end or whatever, but it didn't. And it just turned out to be something great. Yeah. And we're also getting some people saying the anime is dope too. I think I saw some of that. Did you guys check the anime out?
No,
not yet.
I haven't. No.
Yeah, that one's a pretty good one.
It's in my list, though.
Yeah.
I think that one's a two-parter, if I'm not mistaken, like a two-parter.
I think it's like almost like a series. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever watched anime.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa, you're still young. You're still young.
You have time.
Yeah, you have time.
Does Avatar: The Last Airbender count? I ask people that like that all the time, and they have different reactions.
It's
I don't
not
know.
Japanese, but yeah, I think I would still consider it anime.
The only anime I really got into, just aside from watching just regular movies, was Attack on Titan. You guys ever watch that?
Yeah, that's badass.
Yeah, that was super, just like visually amazing, and they made like live action movies.
Stopped after season 2 halfway. Kind of boring, but everyone's telling me I need to watch it.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'd only watched season 1, so I guess I lost track of it too. And the live actions were pretty good. It was interesting to see like their take on it, But this is once again a movie that definitely sparked the interest, I think, as of last year, for people kind of taking a chance. And I think we're going to see definitely coming up with these award shows more and more just representation overseas, in general. And that's going to be almost like I think it's going to have Hollywood step it up a bit. Yeah. Because if you kind of have, all these entries from overseas, what do you guys think about that, Jaron? What do you think, man? Is Hollywood going to have a run for their money, man, dealing with a lot of overseas properties?
I don't know. They got a lot of talent over there. Like, this was my first, but since then I've watched like a lot of, especially other South Korean movies. Like, those are the ones I'm gravitating the most when it comes to international stuff. But I don't know. When I think of this, I always think of that guy Robert Storms or whatever. After Parasite won Best Picture at the Oscars, the guy made a video freaking out and he got famous for it. People have an issue with it, but I don't get it. I think it's really cool. That's one of the reasons they changed the category, I think, to international, right? Instead of just foreign or whatever. I like that they're starting to include stuff, and they got, like I said, they got a lot of talent over there.
Yeah, there's a not whole new world, but this has been going on, but a whole world that I feel like American audiences will embrace if they're just kind of shown. And I think
Yeah.
it does come back to the lack of just being able to see these. One thing that Shudder, because I used to be subscribed to Shudder, Eve knows this, is that they have a crazy amount of international horror films on there. Crazy amount that I would never be open to if it was like Netflix or other streaming platforms. Like, because I have every other streaming platform like Hulu, Amazon Prime, Netflix, except for Shudder is the one that's showing me all the cool ones. And sometimes they're hit or miss, but I have a good time, and it opens your eyes kind of to what's out there, I guess. And giving people more options is a good thing. But Sean, same question, man. Do you think opening the floodgates to international films to American audiences, like award shows and stuff like that, do you think that's going to make Hollywood step it up? We were talking about it this morning in our weekly wrap up. Elliot and I just kind of reboot after reboot, and they're just grabbing, still with the old properties and stuff and just rehashing them. What do you think? Do you think they're going to have to step it up?
I think in terms of this film in particular, this was like the perfect storm because it was approachable. It got great word of mouth, even starting from winning the Palme d'Or at Cannes and then going through the festival circuit and things like that. And then it just kept building momentum. And I think it, coming out in October to be able to get a lot of great word of mouth instead of like coming out closer to Christmas. And it was just a really approachable film that you could say, hey, you might not like this, or oh yeah, it's subtitled, you might have to do a little bit of reading while you watch a movie, big deal. But I think with this film in particular, this shown that in the right scenario with the right film, that wherever your film comes from, and Roma did that 2 years ago. It didn't win Best Picture, but it got nominated for a bunch of awards. That international cinema is just as good, if not better, than a lot of the stuff that Hollywood likes to put out.
Hell yeah.
I would agree. I would totally agree with that, especially as of like the last maybe like decade or so. Like Hollywood will crank out, but it's very few and none, man. And that's the thing. You can't say that there's back to back, like we've had years of every weekend just something being spectacular. And I don't know if I don't watch too many international films, but the ones that I have seen have blown me away. I think the writing's better. I think the atmosphere is better. The landscape is better. Like so much things. And we even see how like a lot of like, action movies like Mission Impossible or even 007 and stuff, a lot of them are filmed over in different countries all throughout the world. So they're taking advantage, obviously of different landscapes, and it's appealing to us. So I think once again, if we take a chance, I think it would open up people's minds and their opinions a little more. And like you said, it's a little bit of light reading. Who cares, So, but same question, Horror Mania. Do you think, the American award academies are going to have a run for their money when it comes to these international movies coming in?
I think they'll be more open to it going forward and nominating them more in the general categories instead of just international. I think the thing is with South Korean movies or foreign movies per se, it's just they are more story driven, and I think that's what makes them a better movie in my opinion. They focus more on characters, like you said, writing and developing the story in the best way possible. And while like most, I don't know, I feel like American Hollywood movies are more like, making it look visually great, CGIs, all that stuff. Not to say that there are no good American movies, but I don't know, I just feel like I've seen so many South Korean movies at this point, and I have yet to see one that I didn't like. I don't know if you guys seen the movie The Wailing, but that one just blew me away just as much as this one, and it's a shame that it didn't get any recognition. So hopefully going forward, people will give foreign movies, more attention.
That's one on my watch list. A lot of people tell me that. Not just you saying that. I've heard a couple people saying that, and I'm like, "What is this movie, The Wailing?" I don't know too much about it. Yeah, I definitely got to take a chance on that one. Do you know if that's on streaming anywhere?
I think it might be on Shudder.
Oh,
is it a horror movie?
I would say it's more thriller, but it is. I think it is listed under horror on IMDb. But it's not like super scary. I don't know. It's just really good. I would highly recommend it to all of you guys if you haven't seen it.
Okay, definitely check it out. Cinematic.
That it's free to watch on Tubi.
Oh.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, I might have to check that out then. Cinemantics, same question. Do you think that a lot of these international titles are going to give Hollywood a run for their money as far as the ones that are created by Hollywood studios?
I really hope so. Like, aside from Parasite and the Korean films and Japanese films, I have always had a soft spot for like the Spanish films too. Like Pedro Alomar, I can't say his last name, Almodovar, I think.
Oh.
It's a hard one to say. Sorry. But I love his films. I don't know if you guys are familiar. The last one he did, Pain and Glory.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I wasn't a fan
okay.
of that one, but I'm a fan of his earlier ones, like Bad Education, The Skin I Live In. Like those, if you guys are not familiar with his films, like I feel like he should get a little bit more recognition. He has, but I mean, it's very slow, and he's been doing this for many, many years. So I wish that Hollywood was a little bit more open-minded and didn't like, it's them versus us, because I feel like it's very like they're separated, and I feel like you should come together, right?
Yeah,
but I do
definitely.
agree with like what all you guys said. As far as storytelling, I feel like the foreign films are more concentrated on like delivering a story, delivering a good story. They're focused on performances, and they're just driven on all the things that I feel like is important to, to deliver a wonderful film, like all together. They're not just fixated on one thing, I feel like Hollywood is just driven on like the numbers, and they just want to produce something now, whether it's good or not. They don't care.
Yeah, and the budgets are disgusting on these
Right.
on some of these American movies, like compared to like a Parasite or like where it's so minuscule. I mean, even like some of Jordan Peele's early, the films are like under 10 mil. Like I think combined Get Out and Us were like 10 mil or something like that. And they made so much, but once again, it's like it's character driven stuff. So that goes back to the few and none that we get from American studios, but. Is that like, do you want that, or do you want just I would love to see every single movie just be great, and that's what I always go back to, like, new Netflix movies are coming out, but I know it's going to be a Netflix movie. You already know what it's going to be, because they've been kind of letting you down. At least American films, they've been letting me down just week after week, and I'm like, oh god, I don't even want to review these movies just because I have to. I don't want to do it.
I think a lot of studios underestimate their audiences. I think they try too hard to like spoon feed them stuff and not realize that a lot of us are looking for good dialogue and good story, not just big action spectacle and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think the sooner they realize that, hopefully maybe American cinema will step it up a notch when it comes to storytelling.
That's well said, man. I mean, yeah, I was just saying, man, you're thinking like a mature guy over there. Well, that's cool. Man,
I would argue it's partly our fault too, because we're the ones watching it, right?
That's true.
If
Yeah.
it bombed, then they would stop making it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I feel like when there is a movie that's a little smarter than the rest of them, they're like, oh, I don't get it. It was too artsy. They're too pretentious. So I think it's kind of the audience's fault too. I agree on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all down to like IP. Like it's if it's not Avengers or Marvel or Transformers or something like that, it's like, oh, why bother? But it boils down to too, like a lot of people, they might only see like 3-4 films a year, so they're gonna go and see the big movies and wait until stuff comes out at home. But even like taking a chance on streaming platforms and things like that could go a long way in how filmmakers make their films going forward.
Yeah.
Very well said. Very well said. I wanted to jump to this movie real quick. We're about 20 minutes and 31 seconds in. Right now, we're getting. Sorry, I don't want to pronounce the names because I butcher them. I do the worst job, so I don't want to disrespect anybody. But right now, we're getting the introduction of the brothers been in the house, the Park home, which is amazing, by the way. We didn't talk about the home yet, but it is phenomenal looking. And he's introducing his sister, which this is kind of where they pull their first con, right? Almost. I mean, besides the brother. Right. And she might be my favorite character, man. The daughter, she was so cool and like slick, and just the way she kind of had the little son in check, and it was really, really cool. Yeah, it was awesome. So what are you guys' thoughts on this movie so far? There is a couple questions in the chats we'll go to, but what are you guys feeling at this 20-minute mark right now, Jaron?
We talked about how this movie is like really like it takes a lot of interest in the dialogue and stuff, but this is also one of those rare cases to where I look at everything, like everything around it, the dialogue, cinematography, it's perfect. I can't really find flaws with it. And I'm not one to like throw out that a movie's perfect too often, but this is one that, I mean, even so far you can see that they've definitely got a vision here. It's already so interesting.
Yeah, most definitely well said. And we're going to get to a actual question that I have about this scene right here. But Sean, what are your thoughts so far watching this movie about 20 minutes in?
Oh, it's basically an evolution of how the Kim family is integrating themselves into this world. Like something I read about how the script was written, like every 10 pages in the script, something happens. Like a new family member is introduced or a big moment happens. And it seems like about every 10 minutes or so, we get that new family member that's introduced into the rich family's lives. So it's basically just how the film's evolving. And it so far, it's been, like Jaron said, you know, don't throw around the word flawless often, but it's as close to flawless as it could be.
Yeah, it's moving along pretty smoothly. I mean, pretty quick. We're already getting a couple of, you know, the Kim family in kind of interjection, I guess, and them once again conning, and I think it's just kind of beautifully like laid out, you know. But same thing. Horror Mania. What are your thoughts about 20 minutes into this movie so far?
It's so good. But I remember first time watching it, I thought it was like a thriller drama, and I was like, this is a comedy. I'm laughing more than I feel intense. I was so confused first time watching it, but watching it again, this is actually my second time watching it. So watching it again, I realized like, wow, this is actually really good.
Yeah, for sure. Same question, Eve.
I love this movie. Like, it's not one of those films where you have to like wait till something gets good, because it like just started so fast, like right off the bat. Like you see story already developing and you see the characters, you know, developing. It's just a very fast film, you know. So I love it.
For sure. No, this is moving along great, and I'm glad that we kind of started on this scene right here. Because my question is the relationship between, hopefully I spelled their name right, Ki Woo and Dae Hai, I believe it is. What did you guys think of this when you first saw it? Because I thought it was weird because he's supposed to be in college, right? And she's obviously in high school. Yeah. So, but as weird as I thought it was like in the sweetest way possible. I don't know. Like,
But
what do you guys thought?
Isn't she like a senior in high school? Not to make it like sound. I'm just trying to make it sound better.
I think because I think they do mention that next year she's gonna, you know, the friend was gonna ask her out next year, so I think she might be about 17 or so, or 18. And yeah, what do you guys think, Jaron? Well, Jaron's 17, so it doesn't matter. You're just like, yeah.
No, I remember first time I watched it, I picked up on that, and at the beginning I thought it was weird. And then at the end, I still thought it was weird. But it kind of worked. Like you said, it's kind of in the most charming way possible. Like, it's not bad. Yeah, you get used to it really quick.
It wasn't like, I guess when I say bad, it wasn't like raunchy, or you don't see them have sex. Like, you don't, it's not super like anything. It's very light. And throughout the whole movie, they keep it a secret, you know, without jumping ahead. But that's why I kind of felt, I don't know how to really feel about it. Sean, what were your thoughts on this relationship between them two?
Well, I think it's all part of the con. Like when the friend said, "Hey, you should do this because I trust you not to do anything with this girl, like because I like her and I trust you to do it." And then, you know, obviously to make the con work, he has to go all in. So, yeah, the age aside, like you know, it's all part of the bigger picture.
Yeah, because I can only guess that I guess it's Ki Woo. I'm guessing like 19, 20. I wasn't really sure about his age, but I know he's over 18. But I don't know the rules over there. Like, I don't really know the law. So, but Hormania, same question. What are you feeling about this relationship?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I don't know what the norm is in other countries, and I've seen so many animes at this point where like middle school girls have crush on like college guys, and I'm like, okay, it's probably the norm over there. But to be honest, I didn't think too much of it. I actually thought the chemistry of the two was kind of sweet and innocent, and yeah, I wasn't really grossed out or weirded out by it, I'll be honest, because I didn't think so much of the age difference when I was watching it.
Yeah, because if they would have done this like in some kind of I don't know, Netflix show or something, it would have been like top news or something, like headline news. I don't know, but
Right.
Eve, what are your thoughts on this relationship?
I didn't really think too much of it actually. So, I guess I would say it seemed like a very charming, I guess, relationship because you see him trying to help her, like with the whole tutoring thing. But good point that you brought up about the con. I never even considered that maybe he was just conning her. Like that makes sense too, because his feelings towards her, I mean, they went pretty fast. So maybe it's possible.
Yeah, I think he was just kind of falling for her quickly. I don't know. That's just kind of how I felt, that he was like, man, my friend didn't warn me about this. So, but I wanted to jump to a question in the chat someone asked. They said, what would you say your favorite foreign language film is? So we'll see if you can lock and load that one, because I really actually I have one. So I'll start one off. It's a Brazilian film. I'm sure you guys have seen it. Portuguese, City of God.
That's
I haven't seen it.
Oh, I love that movie. They spawned a sequel that wasn't too good, but I really do love City of God. Jaren, do you have one?
So Parasite's definitely up there, but I guess, like I said, I haven't seen a ton. I have seen City of God, but still making my rounds. But right now, I'd say either Parasite or maybe Train to Busan.
Oh, that's a great movie.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Wait a minute. So I thought you said this was your first international film you've seen.
No, it was.
Or
I've watched more since then.
Oh, after that. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Very, very cool. Okay. Yeah. Train to Busan is excellent. We actually just caught Peninsula a couple days ago. I actually even like that one too. Sean, same question. What would you say is your favorite foreign language film?
Not, Parasite aside, I've been a big Battle Royale mark for years.
Ooh.
Like that's one that I'll watch like every few years. I've read the graphic novels, I've read the novelization, and it takes a different spin on the original work, but that is such a really fun dystopian, like weird movie. So I'd go with Battle Royale.
Okay, that's a good one, man. That has I love that actress that's also Gogo Yabari in Kill Bill. She's in that movie. Absolutely love that one. Horror Mania, same question.
So I'm gonna name two. I can't pick just one, but Old Boy and Martyrs are probably my favorite. Old Boy is a South Korean movie, and Martyrs is a French movie, and both of those just disturbed me, and I needed a shower and a hug after. So I don't think many movies are able to do that. But those stayed with me, and up till today, they stayed with me. So those two for sure.
Great picks. I still have not seen Martyrs, but I hear it's fantastic.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I just watched it a couple weeks ago, and that's all your fault, Mania.
Did you like it though?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Good.
Very cool. Eve, same question. What would you say is your favorite foreign language film?
The Skin I Live In. I love that film so much. It's so weird. Everything he makes, it's just so weird. I don't know. Have you guys seen it? The Skin I Live In?
I haven't seen that.
No.
I recommend it to all you guys.
What? Where is that film from?
I believe it's Spain. Yeah, it's Pedro Almodovar. Pedro.
See, and that's why I don't say the names, man, because I cannot pronounce it.
I love that he keeps working with the same people. It's Antonio Banderas, and he works with Penelope Cruz like all the time. He kind of reminds me of Wes Anderson in a way, because he sticks to like the actors and the actresses he's familiar with, and that he developed a bond with, after so many years. But I highly recommend The Skin I Live In. It's very bizarre, but I feel like you guys would love it. It's odd, but it's great. It's like so good. Masterful piece.
Check that out. Sarah in the chat is saying The Host and Battle Royale. The Host, man. I feel like that one doesn't get talked about too much as a creature feature. That one was good. That was fun. I don't know. That one was like, wait, do you guys remember what year that was? I feel like that was such a long time ago.
2008?
Yeah, it was around that time. And I was just like, that might have been not my first introduction. Maybe it might have been my first introduction more to international films. Yeah, I think so. That was a while, but that was really a cool movie. 2006. Wow. Yeah, Rob's saying has a Battle Royale on Blu-ray Steelbook, and he's saying his favorite foreign language film is Das Boot from 1980. Have you guys seen that one? Das
No.
Boot.
No.
Also, great film, The Skin I Live In. That's awesome. That's awesome. I was lucky enough to see it in theaters in Japan when it came out. I don't know if they're talking about which film they're talking about, but if that's one that we had mentioned or this film. But yeah, that's awesome. So once again, guys, we are about 32 minutes in, and once again, another con. We're seeing the daughter kind of plant the panties that he kind of sniffs a little bit. That I thought was pretty funny. And once again, this is like the perfect con. It's all mapped out, right? It's all like you said, every 10 minutes something's happening, because right now we're about to see something happen to the driver because of this. So it's just fantastic.
Yeah, like you said, like every 10 minutes they had started talking about it in the food kitchen. Like, do you have any experience driving Benzes? Like the daughter knew that was the make of the car, and just like evolved the con from there.
What do you guys think of the Park family with the father and the wife dynamic so far? Jaron?
I like it. I dig it. Yeah.
Yeah, these are actors I'm not too familiar with, but I mean, they mention it later that the wife is so simple. I think they say, or someone mentioned that the wife is simple. She's a simpleton. She's kind of very gullible, you know. But there's something about that characteristic that's and him to a point too, because his mind automatically goes to just different things and starts making up. You know, this could happen, that could happen. There's sperm on the backseat of the car, he says. So, but Sean, what do you like the dynamic of the wife and husband?
They're great in the sense that they are entertaining, but not like in a goofy way. Like you can appreciate, like I think you said gullible, and I would agree with that. Like there's a gullibleness about how she is like approaching everything. Like, oh, he's telling me this, and that it must be true, and then I'm gonna go and make this even worse in my head. But their dynamic is great. Like I no complaints so far.
Okay, most definitely. How are you liking it, Mania? The dynamic between the two.
The scene cracks me up.
It's
great. I think the chemistry of them is perfect. I think they're on the same mind level and they think alike. So honestly, it's great, and they are entertaining without having to be silly or goofy or stupid. Even they're not stupid. They're just, like you said, simple.
I think the wife's reactions are the best, because they used most of her reactions in the trailer. Did you guys notice that to sell the film?
Yeah,
it's all like her eye reactions, and you know.
And going in, like what Mania said earlier about not thinking that this was like a suspense, like you just seeing that in the trailer, you would think like he just told her.
What did she find out? Yeah,
or something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So very clever marketing. But Eve, what are your thoughts on the dynamic of the husband and wife here?
I like them. I'm actually more, when I initially saw it, I was more like interested to see the different, like the extreme differences between like the economy wise, you know, how they're super rich and then the other family is super poor. Yeah. So I thought it was interesting to see them come into the Park household, and then it was such a culture shock and like a shock to their system to try to adapt to this like lifestyle. Yeah, that was more fascinating to me. But I am just like, so I love Miss Park. Like her reactions to just the smallest things is really cool. Yeah, how just by listening to what the daughter here is saying, you know, she's oh, you're so innocent, you know, blah 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 blah, and you know, she's being conned. This is like, and it's very interesting, because if you were to have, like you had said, the class system, if it were done over here in America, the wife might be extremely snobby, very, you know, kind of her nose up in the air because she has that wealth, right? To me, Miss Park doesn't seem like that way. I mean, she has money,
the best in everyone, yeah.
Exactly, but you wouldn't automatically assume that about someone that's rich. Right. So I think that has something to say, you know, about these character development, that it's an easy way to kind of pull the wool over someone's eyes. But this movie has a huge, dysfunctional family, I guess, underlying issue. So I did want to kind of talk about. I don't want to get personal, guys. We're not going to talk about any dysfunctional families that we're going through because a lot of us have it. But I kind of wanted to mention just dysfunctional families in cinema. So give me 1 second because I do have it kind of queued up. There's a lot of movies that deal with either comedy or horror elements, thriller that have to do with dysfunctional families. Let me bring this up right here. Just kind of some, and I just want to get your kind of thoughts, guys, on some of your favorite dysfunctional families in cinema. So,
Ooh.
for example, the horror element obviously would be The Hills Have Eyes, Ready or Not, more notably, Hereditary, more recently, Knives Out, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So, along these lines, can you guys remember some movies that really stood out to you that had dysfunctional families attached to them, whether it be horror or not?
A Serbian film.
Oh God.
Have you guys seen RV, the Robin Williams movie?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
That's a good example. It's a weird movie, but that's an example of one.
Yeah.
I love the Knives Out call. That's
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't seem like they're initially dysfunctional, but like as things start to unravel, the family does too. So that's really great.
Yeah, and it was very real. I mean, like once again, going to personal lives, we've all been there, right? Whether we're all together at Thanksgiving or whatever it is, what holiday, and someone's always talking shit, someone's always trying to start a fight, someone's not agreeing with something that you say or whatever. But it's a common theme throughout movies of all genres, and that's why I thought it was important. This one as well, because there's constant bickering going on between both families as well. So it's I was just kind of interested in your guys' thoughts on some of your favorites. So we have RV. Anybody else got a couple other ones? I haven't seen that movie in a while, by the way.
I don't know. I feel like I'm drawing a blank. As far as shows, Shameless, but if we're talking about movies, I'm drawing a blank right now.
You just picked some really good ones.
Have you guys seen The Loved Ones?
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
The Loved Ones.
Yeah, that's a
haven't seen that.
dysfunctional family.
That's a perfect example, Mania.
Yes.
Which one was it? I missed it. What was it?
The Loved Ones.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah.
It's an Australian film, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
A horror film? Yeah. I love it.
It's so good.
Okay.
So gory, so good.
Someone says, or Matt says, definitely the Royal Tenenbaums.
Oh,
Yeah.
Look.
Good call.
Yeah,
Wes
some movies.
Anderson, Royal Tenenbaums right here.
Oh, there you
Why did I
go.
think of that? Why didn't I think
Why
of
did
that?
you think of
My
that?
bad.
You're wearing the shirt.
And I see you have Ready or Not on there, but You're Next also has a really great dysfunctional family element to it.
Yes.
Very good.
Mhm.
Yeah, very, very well said. Any other ones?
I'm glad y'all stepped it up from RV. That was like the worst thing I possibly could have said.
Because if you really think of, like, whether it's
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
All of the National Lampoon movies, right? With
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vacation and
Uncle
Christmas.
Eddie.
Yeah.
One of my favorite characters. Yeah, this is, I mean, they're always implemented in there once again, like I said. Rob saying Frailty. Have you guys seen that one? I've never seen that one.
Yes.
I've heard of it, I haven't seen it.
It's
a good
old.
one?
It's like early 2000s.
Oh, that's old.
Yeah. To me, it's old. It's
I wasn't
old.
bored yet. Come on, guys.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting. I mean, of course, all the Texas Chainsaw Massacres to me, I mean, I grew up on those, and shit, you could even say that about, Friday the 13th. I mean, the mother and the son dynamic. I mean, we don't know who the father is, right? But just Psycho, exactly. Whether it's small families, large families, even Meet the Fockers. You guys remember that?
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Or Meet the Parents and stuff like that. It's dysfunctional families that don't get don't get along. So once again, Psycho, Friday the 13th. But you definitely get those elements here with that, and I kind of want to just acknowledge them a little bit. But now we get the con. Jumping back to the movie, we are about 40 minutes in. I want to jump every 10 minutes in here. So about 41 minutes and 3 seconds, guys. We are getting the father now trying to con the mother with trying to replace the maid. And she might have been one of my favorite characters jumping later into the movie. Just kind of like her motivation, I guess, to stay with that family was just amazing to me, or to stay in the place that she was at. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To me, that was like the first thing I saw that kind of reminded me of like a horror movie. Actually, when she shows up in the rain, we'll see that later on. But yeah, when she knocks on their door after being kicked out or whatever, I don't know. The first time I watched that, I was like, "Oh, this lady's weird. She's freaky."
Yeah, because without jumping ahead, I mean, it's a con of a con. I mean, she's conning them, you know, and but then she's also conning the family, you know. So it's interesting. It's interesting take on to see what you would do if you were in this family situation, the Kim family situation of like, I'm going to do anything it takes to survive. Right. I mean, or to get where I need to be. Like we're placed in this situation where we can be around wealth, but let's go a step further and let's try to pretty much infiltrate this whole family is what it is.
I mean, they're even doing rehearsals for
I love that.
to go down.
This is great.
And it sounds
fantastic. Yeah, it's fantastic. And one thing I also forgot to mention was at the beginning of the film, they were gifted this rock. I forget what kind of stone it was, but I think it was supposed to bring them like great wealth or something, or joy. Yeah, good fortune. So this is kind of but then you start to think, was it in them the whole time? Did they just need that little motivation, or was this an actual good omen? I don't know, because we see they use it later in the movie. So yeah,
this is so well done.
Just
the slow motion shots and everything.
You know what's crazy is that they never suspect that they're being conned. Like Miss Park just totally believes everything.
That's why simple is a great word to describe them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and it's like a psychologist or something, right? Like a special like art kind of psychologist or something.
By the way, I have it down low, but I remember this is a great score. I have to turn this up. The score is fantastic because it almost is like a beautiful symphony, like visually, not only with the audio, you know, but
yeah, just like watching them even walking up the stairs, it's like there's a flow to it.
A horror movie.
Yeah.
It's like slow-mo almost.
Yeah.
I like the tight shots.
Yeah.
I love her face walking up those stairs.
Mm-hmm.
I like how she said earlier, do people still get TV?
Yeah. Right here. This is the money shot right here. When she just kind of falls to the side. That was excellent.
That's
I think I might be ahead of you guys, by the way, because that was like 5 seconds ago for me.
Yeah, I think you're a little ahead.
Let me actually pause it. I'll pause it for a couple of seconds. Yeah.
How can she not tell that he's literally squirting fake blood or ketchup or whatever in the?
That's
like
how good
it's
he
so
is, man.
obvious.
I think she's just not expecting them to be doing any of this. Yeah. So she's like, "Oh, he's probably telling the truth."
Yeah,
yeah.
They're very charming, you know?
Yeah, when it looked like she was fainting after he showed her the bloody tissue, I could have swore I thought she was gonna fall backwards down the stairs. That's what I was expecting.
Yeah, that was a beautiful shot. A whole beautiful scene there that they put together. And I mean, like, how long were they planning this? Because it seems like this was kind of their first take, even though they were rehearsing everything. But I mean, when you're there at the house, you have to make sure everything goes in order, right? You have to make sure that you're ahead of the wife so that she doesn't see you pull out the packet to put the blood in. It's like everything has to be really planned out, you know, methodically.
Well, and it even started with the daughter getting the text message to drop the peach fuzz.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The well-oiled machine they have there.
Yeah.
She just looks so stressed right now.
Yeah.
And she says, "Have you washed your hands?" Great. Excellent.
2020.
And this is right. This is another one, man, that made me like, oh, I felt really bad for her. But when they let go of the maid, beautiful window, by the way, beautiful just interior shot of all this home to show the wealth.
That's a beautiful house, wherever that is.
I think it's a set. I think they built it.
Okay.
I don't think
Yeah.
that was a real house.
Yeah,
I read
Oh, I
that.
didn't
I
know
read that.
Okay, that's awesome.
I did read that.
yeah. The main floor of the house is a set, and then the basement is a completely different set. So
That's
like
really
them
cool.
walking up
Oh,
and down
okay.
the stairs is a transfer from different set to set.
Man, when we get to that basement, Jesus,
Yeah.
I love it.
That's when I was like, oh, this is not a comedy movie. Okay.
Mhm.
What do you guys think of Mr. Park?
I'll be honest. I was annoyed by his voice for a while. It seemed too. I don't know. It just seemed too rough. Almost like a dubbed over character a little bit.
Yeah.
But I wish they would have explored a little bit his engineer background, because I guess he doesn't seem like the super genius that he's portrayed to be in this business. I mean, he has like, newspaper clippings on the wall, right? But his mannerisms just seem very like playboyish. I don't know. So
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to put those two together, that this guy's like a tech genius, other than that one scene where we see him in the office, like he's like, oh, attach this to that or whatever. But that we don't get to see much in depth with that.
He just seems kind of complicated too. Like, I don't know, like watching these scenes, if he likes the driver, if he likes, that guy, the dad. I don't know.
Yeah.
You can't tell because he has such a poker face, and you don't know how he's like actually feeling. And I don't know if that's intentional or if that's just like how he is in general.
Yeah.
I get douchey vibes from him. I'm not gonna lie.
That's what I was gonna say. He
Yeah.
looks like a
Same.
grumpy douchebag.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
when he's talking down on his wife, he talks that poorly about people who are less privileged than he is. He's kind of an asshole, honestly, but he gets away with it because he's rich.
And then he starts talking crap about Mr. Kim too later, like how he
like that
smells
smell.
terrible.
Or, yeah.
Smell? I felt so
Oh,
bad
God.
for him.
Yeah. Which leads to like one of the craziest revenge like ever.
Yeah.
But I feel like this guy here, I mean, he's someone that whoever's working for him doesn't. I mean, he mentions it. I don't want him to cross that line. Like, you don't cross the line when it comes to talking about personal affairs. I think he just mentioned oh, you still love your wife though, right? And he kind of paused, like, of course I love my wife. And then he says, or what we call it love. So that kind of alludes to maybe they're on rocky grounds. I don't know, or they're kind of going through something. But then again, he's not always there. He seems like a workaholic, and he's away from the home, right? So I don't know.
He looks like he could, like, he's kind of unfaithful though, like low key, because he
Yeah.
doesn't seem very connected to his wife.
Yeah. That's why I said, when I think he said, we call it love. It's the spark is kind of faded away or whatever. They seem like a young couple, really young couple too. So that's kind of hard to believe, but yeah, he does seem like a dude. Just the way he's kind of like just laying there and his smirking all the time and stuff.
Well, he even just said, my wife has no talent. She can't cook and she can't clean. And
Yeah.
He's kind of a douche.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But there it is.
I can play the good husband. Yeah.
But then it kind of puts the pieces in play too perfectly, of like, they know they're going to need help. So here comes another con. Like, they create have a whole different cell phone number or whatever for or phone call for this care business. It's great. They kind of went the extra mile of conning, I think.
Are you guys gonna watch the TV show on HBO?
Oh, I'm so down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious.
That's a good. Honestly, I don't know much about it. Is there much information released about it other than it's going to be a series?
With
No,
Mark
I think-
Ruffalo, apparently, right?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Is it Mark Ruffalo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
What would he play? Like,
That's what I was like, what? Okay.
Okay.
Because I know they turned his movie Snowpiercer into a TV show, which doesn't seem like it's getting the best ratings, but
I
It's
saw a
also-
couple episodes.
yeah.
I really wasn't digging it.
yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah, Mark Ruffalo is going to be in it, but also Adam McKay is going to have a role in that, and that's really exciting after like The Big Short and things like that. So
Yeah.
Huh. So I wonder if that.
watch.
if they're going to be Americans like stationed over there, or like, I mean, just living over there in South Korea, or
It'll probably just be an American story in general, most likely.
Yeah.
really?
That's what I thought.
Sorry,
Yeah,
based in America.
I kind of don't like that.
I
don't-
don't really either, but I'm gonna give it a shot, I guess.
Yeah,
It
'Cause
said
to me-
sorry. For Parasite, it said it's going to be a limited series. So that's
Okay.
all I know so far. A limited
So
series.
at least he won't be dragged on.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
That's one positive.
kind of like what they did with Chernobyl. Was that
Mhm.
HBO? I think that was a great
Yeah.
little mini
That was
series.
really
limited.
good.
I still need to check it out.
I
So
guess
good.
you do.
It's only about 5 episodes, I think.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, you should check
It's
that one
really
out.
short.
Going back a little bit about how he seems like a playboy, walking in and doing a little bit of grab ass there.
Yeah. But that'll be interesting to see about the Parasite show, because to me, what you guys kind of described as far as actors, and it's going to be the same. Do you guys know if it's going to be the same story at all?
I don't know. I don't even know if it would be like a prequel or continuation to this.
Mhm.
Especially
Yeah.
adding like an American actor like Mark Ruffalo. How would that,
Because to me, if it is going to be a limited series, they can just make it like the movie, and they don't have to worry about anything future seasons if it's just one season,
Right.
limited thing. And if that's the case, that means they're just going to rip off this and then just turn it into an Americanized version of it, which I'm
That's
not
what I was
really that
wondering.
cool with.
What's their purpose? Is it like to try to bring more attention to the original movie, or
Just
just
bank
get
off it.
more? Yeah, probably.
Badass.
Yeah.
Is
Just like we
Bong
talked about
Joon-ho
earlier,
directing
America's
it?
not always original.
No, but hopefully they do have because that's something that we constantly talk about on my channel is representation, and it seems like they are getting a little better with it through movies, and I hope they don't totally. That's what I'm saying. I hope they don't totally just rip off the theme and just make it somewhere here in America. Implement some Asian American actors or just Asian actors in general if they're going to keep it the same premise. I really don't know the premise, but since it is based off of this movie, you would think. By the way, this is. I thought this was so weird. How it was like in slow motion right here. Was it?
Yeah.
That was the only thing that was a little weird to me.
That's what he gets. He keeps peeing like right in front
Yeah.
of
But I love how he throws the water and he
He's like,
hits the
"That's
sun
what
right in
you
the face.
them.
He beams the sun right in the face of the pail.
That's artistic peeing right there, guys.
Mhm.
With the music in the background.
Oh yeah.
I wonder how his relationship is with his son.
Disconnected, it seems like.
Right. I feel
Yeah.
like yeah.
Yeah, usually a father that's never there is, I mean, especially for the growing up years of your young son's life. And the son seems I think they even mention it about how the son has fanboy tendencies, which I thought was really funny. He talks about like, the Native American, bow and arrow and stuff like that. And he was talking about he's really into that and stuff like that. So it seems like, other than the fact that he has that traumatic experience, which they go into, that he's kind of just very adventurous in his mind. So he's saying, okay, I don't need anybody to play with. I'm just kind of just creating my own fun. And the dad's like, okay, cool. He'll just kind of just do his own thing. I'm not here half the time anyways.
Yeah.
So it's kind of working out in his favor, just, killing two birds with one stone, I guess. Sarah is saying, I think he said he wanted to stretch out the movie idea in order to fit in all the other ideas he had that would go in between the scenes we saw in the film version of Parasite. I was trying to understand that. Not sure if that makes sense, but
I think what she's saying is they're trying to expand the universe a little bit more. So trying to explain things that happens in between scenes to make it more of a complete story. But then you kind of lose the organic element of not needing to know everything to make it a good movie.
So it's Bong's vision?
With I think Bong has a hand in what the series is going to look like.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's interesting, though.
He's going to be a co-producer, but sometimes with movies, it sometimes they over-explain themselves a little bit, and that's to their detriment. So hopefully that isn't the same if that's what the series is going to go down.
Yeah, sometimes the less is more.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe says, I can't wait for Parasite 2. All right.
But like this, it just starts the evolution of what we've been seeing so far to what the movie quickly becomes.
Beautiful shot right here outside, by the way. I hope we're at the same marker point, guys. I'm about 56 minutes, 30 seconds in.
You just saw the shot put?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because I paused it for like 5 seconds because I think I was ahead of you guys. By far, the one of the funniest scenes too. The drunk, where they're all getting drunk together.
Mm-hmm.
It's just bad timing though. The day that they decide to get drunk, you know, and then it's just bad timing.
Yeah.
It is so crazy too how they just become accustomed to that lifestyle and they adapted so quickly. They're just so comfortable now. She was taking a bath and everything. They're just chilling in the living room drinking.
It seems like it moves along so smoothly because we're under an hour, but this could have been going on for months, you know? I mean, but they kind of make it seem like it's almost instantaneous, you know?
Mm-hmm.
This scene right here, it also is kind of an indicator that he really is catching feelings for this girl because he talks about how he wants to, you know, did he just say marry or ask her out? Daughter-in-law.
Marry,
so yeah. So I think
Marry.
I don't think he is conning her, man. I think he's really catching feelings over here.
It could have like started out as part of the con and then actually developed into feelings.
True.
It's the long con.
Yeah.
The long con. I like that.
My house.
That mess on the table though is giving me anxiety.
Yeah.
Just curious. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say if you guys seen many of Bong Joon-ho's movies.
That was the exact same question I was gonna ask right now.
Nice.
I swear that was gonna be one of my questions, guys. Bong Joon-ho films. Like, what was like? Have you guys seen him? What do you guys think of his previous works? I know, Jaren. You said, wait, have you seen him, Jaren, by any chance?
Yeah. So I saw this one, of course. I saw Snowpiercer. I saw The Host, and Mother's him too, right?
Right.
No.
Mother?
Oh,
no?
which are you talking about? The one with Jennifer Lawrence?
No, there's
No.
another one.
Isn't there one called Mother that he did?
No exclamation point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I saw that one. So far everything I've seen from him, I really like. Snowpiercer is probably my least favorite out of all of them.
Interesting.
But that being said, it's still good. So yeah, I've seen a few of his films outside of this one.
Okay. How about you, Sean?
Yeah, I actually really like Snowpiercer. Like certain elements of it, there's definitely like it kind of falls down at the end, but I love Snowpiercer, and Okja was really good, and The Host.
Yeah, thank you.
A great feature too.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you said Okja because a lot of people don't say Okja too much. What did you think about? Did you ever hear that theory that Snowpiercer is a tie-in to Willy Wonka?
What?
Oh,
You guys ever seen that? No.
No.
I'll
I
go
don't
with
like
it.
that theory.
Okay.
They have a whole video on it on YouTube, a fan theory. You should check it out. It's a lot of similarities. I'll say that.
No.
But
I don't see it.
well, you won't see it until you watch I'm telling you, you got to watch the comparisons. It's very similar. It's very, very similar. Trust me. But Horrormania, same thing. Bong Joon-ho films. Do you have a favorite? Have you seen them all, or most of them? Or?
Oh, I watched Mother back in the day when I worked at Blockbuster, I think. So it's been a while since I've seen that one.
What's Blockbuster?
oh Jesus.
Good one.
You.
I've seen Mother, I've seen Host, Snowpiercer. Okja was actually really good. It's funny because then I started watching Okja. I could not get into it the first like 20 minutes, and I turned it off. And then I'm the type of person that if I start a movie, I have to finish it. So I was like, one day I just went back to it, and I'm so glad I did because it was really good. But
That's
so
good.
I like, honestly, whatever I've seen from him, I've really liked. So I can't really pick one. I think Parasite's probably the best one he's done, but Mother's also really good. So.
I got to check out this Mother because I have no clue what you guys are talking about. I don't know why I haven't even heard of that one. But Sarah says, can we agree that Willy Wonka is terrifying? That's one of my favorite guilty pleasure movies, man. I love that movie. It's so good.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is terrifying to me. Not so much Willy Wonka.
Yeah, I would say that is accurate. But Eve, same thing. Bong Joon-ho films. Do you have a favorite at all from what you've seen?
Parasite's my favorite. I've only seen Parasite, Okja, and Snowpiercer.
Snowpiercer?
Yeah, but Okja was okay. It wasn't. I think I kind of felt like Mania felt like it was kind of like. I watched it just because of Jake Gyllenhaal.
He's so good in it.
He's in that movie?
He's
my favorite actor. I need to check it out.
But I don't know. It just wasn't for me. I didn't like it too much. It's kind of weird because I saw Okja and I saw Snowpiercer and then this, and I feel like if you were to tell me this was like, if like for some reason these films were directed by different people, I would totally believe that. They don't seem like they have a common, like, how do I explain it? You know what I mean? Like, they just don't seem like they have any similarities. Not that they need to, but I feel like directors kind of have like some sort of like
style wise,
right? But I don't. Maybe I missed something, but I don't feel like he has that. Maybe I don't know.
I would agree.
You think so?
I know what you're saying.
I don't know. I guess that's more of a question to you guys who like have seen more of his films. Do you guys think that he has a certain style that I just missed, maybe?
From what I can remember, other than the wide shot, a lot of wide shots to get a lot of things in the room, but I don't know if he does it with every movie. But by the way, Okja also had Paul Dano and Tilda Swinton. I totally forgot.
I forgot.
Okay.
That really good cast in these movies. But no, I think you're absolutely right. I don't think he has a certain staple of like a Quentin Tarantino, a Nolan, like where you know that these are kind of their films, you know, style wise or just feel wise. But that's interesting. Yeah, I don't get that really from the movies that I've seen of him.
I think it has more to do with the messaging that he wants to put out there and his writing style more than like the visuals of the movie. Like he's definitely one that does a lot of subtext over style, and that's something that he's really, really great at.
Yeah.
But really quick, getting into this scene right here,
this is it.
The exact halfway point of the movie. Like
isn't that crazy?
One of 140 a 2-page script. This is the exact middle of the movie. So this is where you see that turn from the kind of the comedy aspect to more of the thriller.
And that just jumps to my next question, guys. Perfect timing too. Your first reaction. I believe her name is Moon Guang. Is what I looked it up on IMDb, but I don't remember if they referenced it. But I know she is a maid in this film. What did you guys think? Because I'm sure you guys had a different idea on what this film was going to be like leading up to this, and then you saw this, and you're probably like, okay, home invasion movie. I don't know what something's going to happen, or what were you guys' thoughts at this point? We're about an hour in now, almost, about an hour, 4 minutes and 40 seconds in. Jaren, what are your thoughts at this point?
Like I said earlier, when she showed back up, I was kind of freaked out. She just kind of had this look to her like something was about to go down, and I felt very uneasy. I figured it was going to be like a home invasion thing, like she was going to take back what she deserved or whatever. I thought it was going to go pretty crazy, which I mean it does in a lot of ways. I definitely thought something was up when she showed up again.
Especially with that smile, and her face is like just like broken out because the peaches. I'm like, oh god, anything could happen with this woman right now.
Exactly.
Very terrifying. Same question, Sean. Where's your head at in this part of the movie?
When I first saw it, I had no idea what the hell was going on. Like, I didn't know where it was going to evolve to, and I think a lot of it had to do with, again, going back to the trailer, like when a film is described as a twist that you'll never see coming or something like that, sometimes it's kind of blown out of proportion. But going in and how it kind of delves into itself, like I truly didn't understand, like this right here, like her trying to, like this seems funny, but like you're just like, what in the hell is she doing? How it just goes and goes and goes, like it all makes sense, and it like none of it going from what I saw in the first half was something
Yeah.
I expected.
Yeah, it's just bizarre because it's like you almost want to laugh when she falls, but at the same time, you're just curious of like, what is she trying to get to? You know, like what is happening? There's a secret bottom level here. What's happening? Like, so same thing. Horrormania. What are your thoughts on this woman's motivation? Like when you first saw this, like to get back in the house.
I think the moment she shows up at the door, you kind of get a tense feeling from the movie, and but at the same time, like you guys said, he blends the comedy in there still a little bit too. So it's like blended, but at the same time, you can tell the movie's about to take a really dark turn. Maybe more like how the trailer portrays it to be, but I think again he blended it perfectly, transitioned it more so perfectly from like one genre to another. And to me, that's honestly one of the things that stood out to me when I watched the movie.
Yeah, and by the way, that kind of that one take shot all the way through down the stairs and stuff was phenomenal. Eve, same question. What are your first reaction thoughts to seeing her return?
Well, first, I actually think that her character just in itself, like she's just a very subtle character. I thought that from the very beginning. She was kind of like a background character who they were trying to remove to do this con with. And when I saw her come back, it was like, wait, what? Like, oh shit, something's gonna happen. Like, like something's up, right? Because I thought maybe it was just done. But then when I saw her return, I thought maybe she was gonna like tell the other woman something, like, hey, what the heck? Like, that's my job. Like, I want my job back type of thing. I thought it was some sort of like revenge thing at first. And then I was just thinking, I hope she doesn't answer the door, because once she opens the door, then some stuff is going to happen. Something's going to be revealed and it's going to take an ugly turn. But
yeah,
I mean, I feel like the movie was already so great. It was already so freaking like riveting and thrilling as it was. But then I feel like the moment they open the door for her, it just like takes a really bizarre turn that none of us, I think, expected.
Yeah.
Especially when you find like this reveal of like her husband being in the basement.
Drinking a baby bottle, by the way.
Yeah. And I forgot, how long has he been there? Like for a year? Maybe?
It says 4 years.
4 years?
Just said 4 years, yeah.
4 years.
Yeah.
So that's
4 years,
like
4 years and 17 days.
And
That's
it's creepy too, because she's like laughing and like, I don't know, like if she's like, it's a nervous laugh or something, but she just seems a very like weird, strange character to me.
Yeah. Once I heard about a lot of the homes have bunkers like this for the North Korean, it clicked in my mind, and I'm like, oh shit! Like there could be that leads kind of the possibility for like future movies in my mind, like of like that. There could be crazy stuff like living in the like some people under the stairs type of stuff, And but I think this is just kind of her nervousness not to be kind of found out. And until she obviously gets the upper hand, but this is just it. I was just on edge, creepy, because the husband was just like, I don't know, the way he's eating the banana, drinking the bottle, like it was just a lot of thoughts going on in my mind, and I was just waiting for like something else crazy to happen after this. But like you said, you're already invested in this movie, and you're like, okay, I'm willing to take a chance on whatever this throws at me,
Yeah.
Well, and it seems like, too, that for so much of this movie that the family has been almost flawless with how they're pulling off this con, and then she shows up, and then as soon as she shows up, the whole thing starts to unravel. Like she's the big like catalyst for having that happen.
Yeah.
I kind of feel bad. Not kind of. I do feel bad for them though. Like the way she's begging and all that, you could tell how desperate she is.
Yeah. Was the reasoning for living down there just a matter of they were just not couldn't afford to live? Is that what it was again? I totally missed it. I forgot.
He had debts.
That's right.
Yeah, he had people looking for him, so he hid in the basement while she was caring for the new family.
Mm-hmm. So I have a question for you guys. If you're the Kim family, what are you doing in this situation? Are you letting them kind of just blackmail you to, with video evidence? Are you going to take him out like we see later? But are you taking him out in this basement down here level? I feel like right away I was like, I'm just going to try to rush someone. I don't know. What would you guys do in a situation like the Kims right now? Jaren, what would you do, man?
This sounds awful. I guess I would try to take them out.
Yeah.
You've come this far, just keep going. Like, what are you supposed to do? I don't know. It's such a weird situation to be in. I guess that's the only reaction I'd have, which maybe that means I'm demented. But at the same time, I don't know.
It's kind of dog eat dog when you're put in the situation, especially when you traveled to the point that they're in. And they're also drunk too, by the way. So it's like it really kind of messes with everything that you're thinking of, So, and she has her hands on, quote unquote, the button,
Button. Yeah.
Which I thought was extremely funny the way they played it.
Especially with like how they were talking about North Korea and the bomb earlier. It's like that's literally the bomb that she's holding in her hand.
Yeah. She mentions it right now, the detonator and or the missile launcher right here. And this is where the husband starts to like just really crack me up, like with his dialogue here. And but Sean, I didn't want to neglect asking you this question. Same thing. If you were in this situation, man, what are you doing? Are you just kind of following their orders, or are you kind of making a rush for it?
I don't know, man. Like, yes, they're invested, but it seems like they're so good at this that I don't see why they couldn't try again another day. But they would have to be in like a really good circumstance. So if it was me, I'm running like hell. Like,
you'd run out.
Yeah. Like I don't know if not knowing what would be the conclusion would be worth it. So that's what I'd be doing.
Interesting. Okay, how about you, Mania? What are you doing in this situation?
I don't know. I think initially I would just like when she asked to like help them out, just to give him like some food here and there. I think I would have just agreed to do that because after all, they're the reason she's not there anymore. I think I would have felt bad and agreed to help her out. I don't know.
That was my first instinct too, is to go along with prolonging this con. Just let him stay down there, feed him, occasionally or whatever. And
that's what I meant. That's what I meant when I gave my answer. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But at the same time, them not wanting to go along with that, it just shows that this greed is starting to overcome them right now. Mm-hmm. So it's like they don't want to share the space with anybody else,
Because she's been in the family's life for so long, like she feels almost entitled to the position that she's in, because she refers to that family as Neanderthals. But as of right now, they're no better than one another in the positions that they're in. So
yeah. I just love how when the husband looks and then it just kind of flashes back to present day, and he just gets, they're all after. By the way, this is by far one of the best, my favorite shots in the movie, when they all kind of dogpile each other. Yeah. Excellently shot, man. Look at that.
I like the outside view from the outside of the house looking in. That's really cool.
It's hard to believe that this is all just a set. It's really hard to believe, but we do have a question in the chat. Yeah, the dogs are after him. Film Explorer asks, question for the panel: which family is the parasite?
Oh, I know. I have it.
Who is it, Eve?
Well, I think one of you guys mentioned it. Kind of. I feel like it's the Kim family because of the greed. How I think, was it you, David, that you said that the greed was kind of like sinking in. It's showing more, or maybe it was Sean, but you could see it more in this scene. Like they're both equally fighting to just go back to where they were with the family again. Not necessarily the former, I guess, nanny and the housekeeper.
Housemaid.
She's not technically fighting for her position, but she wants to live. She wants to go back to her other lifestyle, I guess, essentially, in a way. But I feel like the Kim family, they're the parasites because they just concocted this big plan, this big con. And it's crazy to me that they were one way and then they just completely changed who they were because they were just consumed by the wealth and the greed of just living there, or maybe not even living there, just working with them for maybe it was months, but it seemed like weeks to me. So I personally think it's the Kim family that is the parasite.
Yeah. I mean, they were even talking about like, marrying the daughter and becoming, pretty much part of the family. So they were already thinking ahead. That's what they were, at least that's what they were thinking, so.
That's crazy.
But Jaron, what are your thoughts on that question, man? Which family is the parasite?
I think it's also the Kim family, just because, like she said, they're kind of causing trouble for everybody. And you see that they're very smart. They're very skilled. So what they're wanting at the end of the day is success. And you see all their skill sets. They could work their way up to that point if they really tried, because they put so much time into concocting this plan and working out every minute detail. I think they could make themselves successful organically. But they're just kind of screwing with everybody. So I would agree.
Interesting. Sean, same question.
I think in a way, both the Parks and the Kims are parasites. Just because of, the Kims need the Parks in order for their plans to come to fruition. But, the Parks are jerks that are kind of using this poor family to be able to do the things that they can't do themselves. So I had a great conversation with my wife about the first time we saw this film. It's like there aren't really any protagonists in this film. It's like a lot of shades of gray. Like aside from maybe her and the youngest son, it's like everybody else has their own baggage that they're carrying. So in a way, it's kind of both. If it's 51-49, I'd probably say the Kims, but yeah.
And then we get that kick where I thought this woman was dead when they kicked her down the stairs. By the way, I was like,
totally.
there's no way, but but same question, Hormania. Which family do you think is a parasite? I'm sure we all kind of agree on by now, but
yeah, I think it would be Kim's, but also it's kind of greed that's the parasite in this. I think both families, the bad qualities come out when like money is involved, or like you guys said, they're leeching off of families that are less privileged than them, and then they're leeching off of them and taking advantage of them to get money, and like as much money as they can for their family. So I think it's greed that's the real enemy in all this. But if I were to name a family, it's the Kims for sure. They're kind of just causing ruckus for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, when I first saw this and I was like, okay, parasite, it makes sense. They're all leeching off of the Park family. So it's like, yeah, they are the parasites, and that's, hence the name and why everybody thought it was a horror movie, but like, no, it has a different meaning to it, I think, and yeah, it's just when they're all trying to suckle at the teat basically of this money. This family has fortune, I mean, it seems like they have more money than what they even know what to do. Because I mean, it is a small family in my eyes. Two children, husband and wife, and they have an extremely huge house, and multiple cars. They're going on trips, and this guy's a lavish job. Seems like they have more than what they need. So when people get placed in those situations where they don't have that next to that, I mean, we saw what the Kims were living in, right? Look at, a couple rooms, very bad, just restroom situation, just they're getting fumigated, like out in the open. It's just, they're coming from shit. So it's like, when you get exposed to this lifestyle, it's like, man, were they justified in doing what they're doing? I don't know. That's a whole nother question, but. Yeah, Film Explorer saying Kim family for me too. Eve, and totally agree with you, Jaron. With all that talent, they could be successful. Yeah, they could calm the world. Yeah, aren't they all parasites? They're all feeding off of each other somehow.
Very true.
Mm-hmm.
Most definitely. Yeah, definitely. The housekeeper and her husband are parasites as well. Yeah, they were just kind of more low key about it, I guess, just kind of under the floorboard, so to speak, and just laying low. But 4 years, man. God. That's
I like
crazy.
the song.
What's that?
I like the song. He's a funny kid.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And this is where we kind of get our, I don't want to say horror element of it, but when I first saw this face, I was like, what the like it was like The Grudge, like you know? Oh
I remember
god.
I laughed this part though when they showed him coming up the stairs, and I was like,
Really?
I think I just started laughing. Yeah.
It was a good shot, I thought, you know, because
No,
everything
it's
else,
a great shot.
yeah, there it's lit on the sides, and except for the middle there, it's really dark, and
It's just
except for his eyes.
were piercing through.
Yeah. It was really cool.
I honestly think Mrs. Park is probably the most innocent out of all of them. And maybe it comes with her thinking just simply about things.
Mhm.
And that's what I started asking myself too: is she innocent or just naive? Because I feel like,
I think she's more naive. Yeah.
Naive,
Mhm.
yeah. But to me, that comes with like new money. Like if you think about it, some family that just came into this fortune, right? You're still going to be the same you, but if you had it for years, and going back to if this was an American film, it might, you know, change people's personas and other people looking at them, you know, lower class, like, you know, oh, they're less than me, I'm going to treat them a certain way. But to me, she seems like, tell the condoms too, but it seems to me like all this, this may be like a new money mentality. Either that, or she's really not vain. Like she's really not let it get to her head, I guess. And that's kind of a little harder to believe. But once again, it's an international film. It's not an American film. So I'm just going off based off American characters, you know?
Yeah.
Or characteristics, I guess.
Well, and something too that I remember hearing about with the dish that she had her made, the ramdan. Apparently, that's like a very simple, cheap meal that's very popular in Korea. But the fact that they added the sirloin to it makes it now this wealthy, like high influence meal.
Upgrades it a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I swear, food in like Korean movies and anime always looks so delicious. It makes me like want to have dinner right away.
Yeah, I guess for Americans, that like the closest thing would be like putting a steak in a top ramen or something.
Yeah.
A steak in a top ramen. Yeah, and right now we're getting a lot of just certain situations, you know, them trying to get out of the house, which I thought was probably one of the better scenes too. And just, this dog looks like a toy.
Dog,
yeah. But I was on edge, just them trying to quietly get out of the house, because now you're on another mission to get out of the house, and it's like, you know, thankfully these floorboards don't creak, you know.
Yeah, like this whole like, I don't know how long exactly this goes on, like 20 minutes at least. It's just what's gonna happen, what's gonna happen, what's gonna happen. Yeah.
Yeah. Oof, he almost got made right there. Again with the long shots through the hallway, you know, and
So this was
It's
the
amazing
number
how
one movie for
silent
all
they're
of you
able to
guys?
be.
Was this number one for all of you guys last year?
Yes.
Was what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
number one
movie. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
It was, I think, for me as well, yeah.
Like, and going back to an earlier discussion too about the Oscars and how it won so many awards, it was like it came kind of in a good year because there was a lot of like really good movies, but not like one that was like so good that it stood out above everything else.
What movies does this go up against?
1917.
1917, Joker,
Ford v. Ferrari,
Once Upon a
Little
Time in
Women,
Hollywood.
Yeah, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Okay,
There's
you said Little
Dr. Rabbit
Women.
in there too?
I want to say
Yep.
Bombshell, maybe.
Which one?
Little Women.
Yeah,
Bombshell?
Yeah.
And then you guys said Ford versus Ferrari too.
Yes.
So yeah, these are all. I saw all those movies. I saw all those except for Little Women, I think, and I heard that was really pretty good too. So it's like
Really good.
So good.
Mhm.
yeah, when you're going up against these what I call juggernaut of movies, I mean these are the movies that are the best of the year. Even Joker, like it's like damn, it's like I don't know, like it's still like even that's why I think that's why I was like I don't know because I love Joker for certain reasons too, but I also love this movie a lot for certain reasons too. They're obviously two different kinds of movies, but I think it was the simplicity of this movie's premise that and it blew people away. Because if you think about it, it's not too intricate, you know, the plot. You know, poor family tries to infiltrate rich family and get, you know, con them. That's all it is pretty much, you know, and them kind of coincide with this family without them getting caught.
Yeah, I think there was like a really great depth in like really, really good to great movies, but I think this and maybe like one other film that I saw last year, I would put like above all of those as like an actual really great film. Like this and Portrait of a Lady on Fire would be like two movies that I would say like,
and that didn't even get nominated.
That movie was amazing.
Nominated from France for Best International Film.
It was
like,
crazy. I think they ran out of time or something. I don't know what happened there. That's what I was thinking. Why would you not nominate that film?
Yeah. And I want to mention something that you talked about earlier, David, about like the Oscars, and you too, Sean, about the Oscars. For it to be going against the juggernauts, like you said, David, I honestly, and maybe it's more like a question, but did you guys feel like this movie stood a chance with the other films? Because I personally wanted this film to win so badly, but did I think it was going to win? No, because it was going against 1917.
Yeah,
which I have not seen, but I heard so many rumblings, like predictions that movie was it was a given.
Yeah.
Like that was going to win.
I think that was the general consensus for most people that 1917 was going to take home a lot of awards that night.
When I made predictions for it, I remember I said that 1917 was going to be the one that was going to win. Parasite is the one that I wanted to win.
Right.
Yeah.
But then I think everyone assumed after it won international film, there was absolutely no chance it was going to win Best Picture too, because that doesn't happen very often. I felt like its chances went even lower. So I think everyone was blown away when it did it, but it's the most deserving, I think.
So deserving. And it's unfortunate that I think it's the case that what we feel like is deserving is not always the films that are gonna win. And I felt like in this case, this was gonna be the same thing for Parasite. I honestly thought that it was gonna be 1917 or even Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That was gonna take it, honestly, because there were just so many things about those films. You know, everybody, at least on my film account, were just talking about those films like crazy. Like, oh my God, this is the best film ever. Like, Parasite, what is that? Like, no, they're not gonna stand a chance, you know?
Yeah.
Oof, someone's dog's going crazy over there.
My bad.
It's all right. No, I totally agree with you there, though. Like what Jaron said, like this is the movie that I wanted, but I didn't think it stood a chance against those other movies. Like they were, you know, there's like, oh, like one sticks out, like, oh, this could be the one that does it. All those in that category stood out to me, and I was like, it's going up against this not no name movie, but unknown to a lot of people. I was like, it's blowing it out of the water, and that wasn't the case, you know. But I think
maybe I was the optimist then, because I thought it actually, with the word of mouth that it had going through award season, I thought that it had the best chance. And I'm in agreement with 1917 that it was probably the clear cut initially. But I think as it got closer to the Oscars, that 1917 was more on the technical merits and how the discussion turned to, is it actually a great film or is it a really good looking film? And are we awarding how it looks and the cinematography of it? So yeah, I you know, maybe it's just the optimist me. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, to that, I got to say, I got to disagree. I think 1917 was just a phenomenal story. Just through and through. I saw it in theaters. I was lucky enough to see it in theaters, and I was just blown away from start to finish. It was a fantastic movie. fantastic journey that you kind of went along with these. I know it wasn't technically shot in one take, but they gave it that illusion that it was. And just seeing the behind the scenes of how it was filmed, it made me love it a million times more. So I really did love 1917 I loved more than even like Joker and Once Upon a Time. And I'm a huge Quentin Tarantino fan. So it's like, but once again, I love each of those movies for different reasons. But I think overall 1917 had me. And there was a little, and I remember catching Parasite, I think later in the year too. It was was it like a November, December release or something? It was more towards the end of the year, right?
It initially came out in October and then became wider.
Yeah, which I think 1917 was like later in the year as well, right?
I think that was closer to Christmas.
Yeah, it was December, like late December. Yeah,
so that's why I was like, okay, Parasite's too later in the year. Not enough people are going to recognize it for what it is, and like we all said, it was kind of like a cast that no one knew, really. I mean, Mark Ruffalo's not in this one, so it's like, why would they even bat an eye, But I think this kind of is like almost like an underdog story of like, oh wow, things are changing. Like they're actually starting to recognize other films, up against this. And I wonder what maybe they talked about it that night, but I wonder what the other directors thought about that decision. Like, were they like that it's worthy of, beating my movie technically, or like, what were their thoughts on it? I wonder.
I think Quentin Tarantino was clapping when Bong Joon won the award for Best Director and Best Picture. I think they were all pretty supportive. I think maybe there was like one director that it kind of looked like, not that he was pissed, but he was just kind of like.
Well, Bong's made it very clear that he's inspired from a lot of those other filmmakers that were nominated. So like it was a big deal for him that he got to even be in the same category as them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was Jojo Rabbit nominated too for the Best Picture?
Best Picture, yeah.
Oh, it was. Okay.
That was another one that I liked a lot too.
I was gonna say that's probably, I think after Parasite, I think that would deserve it the most in my opinion.
Little Women to me, I feel like was right.
I haven't seen that one yet. Yeah.
Haven't seen it.
So good.
Yeah.
And that one, I was like skeptical about watching it because I grew up with the I can't say the OG one because there's so many like adaptations of that movie, but the one with Winona Ryder and Christian Bale, I grew up with that one, and I was just like, how are they gonna have Timothy play this like love interest? But for some reason, it worked, and kudos and props to Greta for taking on that project because it's a big one. She did an excellent job.
Hey guys, I hate to do it to you. No, I don't know. I'm the host, but I really have to use the restroom. So if you guys just don't mind chattering amongst yourself, I will be right back. Okay.
Okay.
I kind of love this whole sequence. Kind of love this whole sequence when it's raining and stuff because it's kind of like a lot of parallels because you see them how rain can look so much different to them who are poor living at the the edge of town to the rich people who kind of look at it as like a beautiful thing. It's really cool.
And how they go down like a huge flight of stairs too just shows like they're kind of below everyone else. It's like shows the social classes and like on screen as well, so it's pretty cool.
One thing I remember in an interview that Bong Joon-ho did was this scene in particular was like how the water flows from the top and goes down to the bottom, and that's exactly how sometimes the economic classes, and it's not the water that goes from the bottom and works its way up, it's the other way around.
Right.
Oh, somebody in the comment section said thoughts on Marriage Story.
Oh, that was nominated too. Yeah.
Was it nominated?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I watched it for the first time last night and it destroyed me.
It's so good though. So good.
It destroyed me.
That movie monologue that they have.
It's not
oddly
even
enough.
bad, I think. Yeah. Sorry.
Go ahead. You're fine.
No, it was like for me, it was not so much the argument. It was like right after when he like wished her death and then just broke down, started crying, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Yeah.
Oddly enough, that's probably the movie out of all of them that all of the ones nominated that I watched the most. It's the one that I go back the most often. I don't know why, because it's like such a hard subject matter to deal with. It's very uncomfortable, but I really enjoyed it.
It's uncomfortable because it's so real. I think like it just shows the ugly side of relationships, and it's captured so well, and I'm like,
Mhm.
this feels too real. And I had people commenting saying like, for some people, the argument scene was even too hard to watch. Like they had to kind of walk out of the room while it was playing. So yeah, it was
People
really
said
good.
that was bad acting. People were
No,
making
it
fun
was
of that scene on
not.
Twitter.
No,
No,
I thought it was really
not.
real. I felt like it
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
personal, like personal. Also, I thought it was kind of ironic that I think Scarlett Johansson was like going through a divorce at the time.
What she,
I
Oh,
think she
yeah.
was.
yeah, when they cried both so well. Like her eyes were all puffy and red, and he had the quivering lips. It was just perfect. I don't think it was bad acting at all.
I love
No.
Adam Driver.
Me too.
He's
Yeah.
so good.
I thought Scarlett would win something last year though, because she was nominated both for Jojo Rabbit and Marriage Story.
Yeah.
I probably would have preferred her as supporting actress with Jojo Rabbit over Laura Dern in Marriage Story. I think Laura Dern did a good job, but I love Scarlett Johansson and Jojo
Yeah,
Rabbit.
she was so
I would
good.
agree.
She was so good.
Who won Best Actress?
It was Renee Zellweger for Judy.
Oh, that's right.
No, I haven't seen that one.
Another one I haven't seen.
I haven't. Mm-mm.
Heard
Is
it was
bad
really
that
good
I haven't
though.
even heard of it.
Judy Garland.
Oh wait, I have heard of it. Never mind. I just haven't seen it.
Were you guys just talking about Marriage Story because someone asked?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you guys for holding it down, by the way. I appreciate that. So Rob says, I saw Parasite in early November 2000, and I'm a local AMC. I predicted Parasite would win Best Director and Best Picture. Man, that's
Nice.
interesting. Oh, also have to support my peeps. Awesome. So yeah, guys. Sorry I missed a little bit of the conversation, but I know you guys are talking awards, and we are actually going to get into that a little later because I totally forgot to mention that at the end of this, if you guys have a little bit of time, I would love to do a little bit of trivia, Parasite trivia for you. So I hope you guys have been paying attention to those subtitles.
Okay.
That's what I like to do on my watch-alongs to make it a little fun, is just do a little trivia or games, you know? Yeah. And this is kind of like where I'm getting like my third movie, because if it was like at that 1 hour break where we got kind of the switch, you know, with the maid, this is kind of like the third part of the movie where we see that they end up in that that gym, I think it is, like the gym where they're kind of just holding up, taking shelter. And it's kind of like this part's actually really sad to me. Like you see a lot the water lines break, and they're just kind of, I think the daughter was sitting there on the toilet, and just like, it just seems very miserable, and they're literally like in shit, because I think they're talking about the sewer line, right, or something, or
Yeah.
We have the exploding toilet.
yeah. Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah, but I think one of the things that I love about this movie, it's like it seems almost genreless because of how much it like goes across the spectrum. Because if you were to had like anybody come up to you and said, what would you say the genre of this movie was? And I'd be like, well, it's a comedy, thriller, action, disaster movie.
I think that's what Sarah Benson in the chat mentioned too, that this kind of breaks a lot of genres. You don't really know what to think about it. You can't, like you said, you can't really describe it to somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All you have to say is just watch it.
It's a movie.
Yeah.
And I always tell people too, you know, don't watch the trailer. You're going to watch the whole movie. But I feel like you could watch this trailer and still not know what the hell is going on, like what you're in for, you know?
Exactly.
But do you guys think this was a little like marketed falsely? Like,
I think it was a little bit.
In a beneficial way, though, I feel like.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
really
Like,
refreshing when you like see a trailer that you really like and then go see the movie and you like it even more than the trailer. I thought it worked.
Yeah, it was smart marketing. Like,
Yeah.
I know that a lot of flack that A24 films get is that they do these really heady trailers that have absolutely nothing to do with the movie. But I think that for this, it was like to kind of keep a lot of what happens in the movie a secret so you can go in and enjoy it.
Yeah. Have you guys seen this movie that she's talking about called The Perfection?
I know it's on Netflix, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
About switching genres as well, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, no, I think like you said, as far as the trailers go, I think it did that from a marketing standpoint as well, just to kind of pull people in a little bit, get them a little more intrigued. Because I think if you were to make a trailer more based on what it actually is, it might not be. I mean, to us, it's interesting, obviously, right? But I don't know how you could convey that in a more intense in an intense trailer. Because when you're watching trailers, you're basically watching a condensed movie in 2.5 minutes, something like that, you know? So it's like, I don't know how suspenseful you can make it without kind of giving the illusion it's something else.
It might actually seem very messy.
True.
Right. It's like, and aside from like a little bit of the rain scene, like I'm trying to even remember if there were any scenes, like bigger scenes from the second half of the movie that were even in the trailers.
That's the thing. Yeah. How would you even advertise this movie any differently? Because it's so, like you guys said, it's just a movie. It has really no genre attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to what you said, Sean, they now that you mentioned it, they kept that second part of the movie out of the trailer completely to kind of hide the fact that anything else was happening. This, other than them alluding to like it's a twist that you didn't see coming or whatever, you know, like
right.
They didn't show that, which is good, you know.
And one thing I remember specifically that the director said before the Q&A was like, talk about the film, but not the second half.
That's interesting. God, that closet, man. Jesus. And it's interesting because I love the parallel too, because now they're all fishing for clothes, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's interesting. I think it's I don't know. I know that America has a huge fascination with crime shows, especially on like Netflix and stuff, or it's like these reality shows about flipping homes. I always see it because my girlfriend watches it, and it's it's always like copious amounts of space that no one needs. It's like a 3 person family, and they need like a 7-bedroom home with a closet that looks like that. It makes no sense to me whatsoever.
It's just to say you got it.
Yeah, it's to show it off, and it's like and then fill it with a bunch of shit you don't need. We're consumers, you know.
But I remember, I remember in reading about this that he came up with a concept for this film like right after doing Snowpiercer, which also has a lot of like class warfare vibes to it. So he was like, maybe I just had it on the mind. I don't know, but it's really cool that this is like the first Korean language film that he did after doing like Okja and Snowpiercer and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a bunch of subtleties to this movie that kind of, I think this might be like the 4th or 5th time, but I'm noticing a bunch of just new stuff that I'm seeing every time. And that's probably the best thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is noticing all those new things. I think this is where we get into the smell.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The smell of what it is. And
I think this is where she takes a turn too, because she's starting to act a little bit more like her husband was. Just kind of like nonchalant in the backseat, and talking crap about Mr. Kim while he's in the front seat.
I thought it was funny too, because how does she assume it's him? She has her shoes off. What could be her feet?
Oh, yeah. Because,
we were
talking about it earlier. I think he was complaining about the smell to her earlier. Yeah.
I know, but I would just automatically think like, you have your feet up, like. Your feet are closer than I am to you. Like, maybe it's your damn feet, girl. Wash your feet. I don't know. No, I know it's
feet.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, exactly. I know. Yeah, they don't smell bad.
It's a distinct smell. I think he says, doesn't he say it smells like an onion or something, or it smells like a? He says
like
it smells
radish, maybe. I don't know.
Something like that, where it's like they're fresh off a sub. He said Subway, something with Subway people. Like you could, they all have that same smell. But yeah, that kind of shows their class level when saying things like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is going back to the con. I think this is the only family member that's kind of let the con consume him to where he's like, maybe I can have a better life. Everybody else is just kind of conning, but I think I can blend in here. And that's what I think he says, do I fit in here?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I had that haircut back in like 4th grade, by the way, too.
I think we all did.
Yeah. Just a little part in the middle.
And she just goes, she doesn't even say anything.
She can't even comprehend what he's talking about.
Like,
It's like, I guess.
I mean, what do you say to that, though?
Yeah. This is interesting too because they went straight from the gym to here. Was there showers there at the gym? Because you totally smell everything. I don't think there
I don't think
was.
so.
We didn't see it. We didn't see it. So it's like
I think that's why the smell got a little bit more aggressive.
pungent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aggressive.
And you could tell at this point that the father, not the park father. I don't know his
Mr.
name,
Kim.
but Mr. Kim. You could tell he's just like had it with this day. Like he's just
He's
fucking
done.
old. He is over it. He looks so like just not there.
I mean, this was definitely not in his job description, just saying.
Well,
And
and
we've
I
all
think,
been.
well, just really quick, I think too, like the first part of the film, like it almost was like they had it on easy street, and now this is what it's really like working for this family.
Yeah. I was gonna ask, have you guys ever been at a job where they ask you to do something that's not in your job description, and you feel like saying that's not in my job description, but you just do it?
Yep.
Mhm.
All the time.
All
I
the
hate
time.
that.
Yesterday.
Yeah. But we can't say like, hey, it's not part of my job description.
Yeah. Once again,
Yeah,
it's we get a couple of those moments of crossing the line. I think right there too is like, hey, you're getting paid for this. Like you're on the job, basically. Like don't. It's almost like don't think I'm your friend. Like this is you're like working for me. You know. I love those little subtleties of like the crossing the line thing.
And it's like another way of showing, like, oh, money can buy everything kind of thing. Like, don't worry, I'll pay you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because throughout the movie too, we get hints of that, you know, oh, my wife can't do the dishes. We'll pay someone to do it. You know,
Right.
you know, she'll buy the food, but we need someone to make it. Like the maid will make it, you know, and then, you know, we want you to entertain my son, but I'm not going to do it alone. Like we'll get this
Right.
guy, you know, Mr. Kim to do it. And it's just like they're constantly used to that lifestyle. So
Oh, way to go, dude.
Getting like Saw green room vibes, like just seeing
Yeah.
the shot down the hallway.
the color palettes are amazing too, especially like the contrast between above, you know, and then below. It's just very eerie when you get down below.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and just like how they fell down the stairs and he drops the rock, it's like this kid is like fumbling like left and right.
Such a
That's all.
creepy, spooky scene right there with the lighting. It's all quiet.
Yeah,
It reminds me of Green Room with the lights.
yeah, I love that movie.
So good. I love how we're all like quiet and tense right now.
I know. I'm like,
Even like
Is
we
there
know
mu-
what's coming and it's still intense.
Yeah, I know.
I like turned up all the volume. I was like, is there no music here? Oh, like no, it's quiet.
Mm-hmm. I love when a movie knows how to use silence.
I did not see that coming.
Mm-mm.
Even after watching it for like the third or fourth time.
Whoa.
God, the way he's moving up these hallways is like just crazy.
Mm.
It's like almost creature-esque.
Yeah,
Like he's not
exactly. Now, did you guys think that was going to happen with the rock scene with the sun?
No.
I did not see that
Nope.
coming.
I think that's the part where I gasped so hard, where I was like,
Mhm.
like I think that's for me. That was like, okay, this movie is not a comedy.
Right. Agree.
It's weird how nobody notices him. Like that he
Yeah.
escaped from the basement.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Did he just drink olive juice?
Yeah, I think it was plum wine,
Oh, okay.
or maybe it was.
Yeah, plum wine. I think you're right. I think it was plum wine.
Oh,
Oh, the Rock.
Because there's a part of you where like maybe he could survive, and then the rock hits again. You're like, oh no.
What are y'all at right now? I may need to pause a couple seconds.
Yeah, I think we're all kind of off a little bit. We're 1 hour 52 and 13 seconds. That's where I'm at.
Okay.
So he's like, now he just grabbed the knife. He just grabbed the knife in the kitchen for me.
I'm gonna pause for a few seconds.
yeah,
That's where I'm at too. He's walking with a knife, about to enter the.
Oh, mine just grabbed the knife, so I think I was the only one that was a little behind.
Oh yeah, you're a little behind then, I think.
Yeah, that's okay.
I think I'm ahead, so my reactions are before y'all, and it's weird. Oh, I don't like this.
Pause it.
We need to react together.
I know.
But look at how he's outside. How does nobody see him?
Everyone's just honed in, focused. Oh god.
yeah, they're focused on the kid.
By the way, that stab was so realistic.
Yeah, I know.
The way he
That's
just
what
like
I was saying.
ran
Oh my
at her,
gosh.
I was like, oh.
Mm.
And her initial instinct is, I'm going to throw the cake at him.
Yeah, it was just kind of like a
That's
reaction.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Ugh.
He looks so crazy there.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, and then she goes in with the axe. Like that's intense. I would not go with the axe, but that's awesome. Was that a real axe?
Yeah, that was a metal. It was a metal axe, or
Oh, cool.
yeah.
See, this is like a battle scene to me. This
Yeah,
is
he like
so
slicing up the
cool.
mom.
This is like an epic war battle, like a war scene,
Yeah.
if anything.
Especially when you're trying to hide the con and try to help at the same time. It's your family member, your daughter. You know, it's like so much confliction just like going on. He lands right on it. Oh.
Do you think that was on purpose, that he didn't like throw the keys like high enough?
I think it was 100% on purpose, honestly.
Yeah, I think so too.
You think so?
I think so.
I don't think so. I think
he's so done with him. He's like, I don't care.
Yeah. He was like, I'm just gonna show them that I tried. So.
And this leads to the breaking point right here.
Why are you concerned about the smell after everything? It's so disturbing. Like, why is he still covering his nose after all that?
Like, someone just got stabbed. That should be your concern.
Right.
Mhm.
Like, the blood doesn't get to you, but the smell.
Right, but the smell.
So
does,
again,
right.
who's the real parasite here?
Yeah.
This is where like the second or like the end of this movie, it really kind of makes me change my viewpoint a little bit.
I love how the daughter and the mom react, and the daughter is like over there stabbed, and she's still reacting like, "Huh, Dad? Did you just do that?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I still think the Kims are the parasite only because the other Parks were just living their life and they were the ones invited into their life. But doesn't make them the better people.
Joe made a
It
good
doesn't
point.
make the perks, yeah.
This movie did a stellar job of making me fall in love with the cast the longer I watched. No, for sure. I agree.
Totally agree.
I love when he wakes up from like his coma or whatever.
What were you guys'
Smiling.
initial thoughts on that, by the way, that he survived? What were you guys' thoughts on that?
I thought there's no way that
That's
he
what
would
I thought.
survive
That's what I was
that.
gonna say. Yeah.
But he
Brain
did.
surgery. He just starts laughing at everything.
Mhm.
I figured somebody had to die.
I just didn't want it to be the daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one hurt.
Yeah. She was almost like the master con, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
The daughter was the, you know.
And the fact too, like they only get probation.
Yeah.
They're very, very lucky.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of messed up. He keeps laughing.
Yeah. That's what it was entertaining to me that he kept laughing.
Like even staring at a picture of his sister.
I know.
No. Are these all just urns? I just barely noticed that. For some reason, I thought they were something else.
Yeah, I think it's cremated.
Yeah, cremation. By far the weirdest design for a toilet up on that high. I don't.
It's so much effort just to go to the bathroom.
Jeez, seriously.
It's like once you even get up there, there's not a lot of headroom either.
I know.
We are all so into the movie.
I know. I
The
know.
ending is so good.
Yeah, this part of the movie is like my favorite for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like he almost kind of is getting back to normal, I guess, quote unquote normal a little bit. He's not laughing anymore, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought too the first time I watched it.
Yeah. Because I thought he was going to be that way for life. Yeah, we're all into this. Make sure to like and subscribe, guys. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe to everybody down below.
You can see we're very chatty people.
I was going to say, this is the first time I'm kind of speechless when it comes to these watch-alongs, but
I wonder back in the comments if it's anybody's first time watching it, like that's in the comment section that's watching it.
Yeah, that's a good question. Anybody first time watching this? I would love to hear your thoughts. I feel like this is a movie that everybody's kind of watched by now because of the response that it's gotten from everybody, you know?
Yeah.
I even made my mom watch this one, so.
And so did I. So did I. She was like, "You have it on Blu-ray?" I'm like, "I'm bringing it over right now."
No. My parents loved it. My parents are not used to like watching a lot of foreign films, and they love this movie.
That's awesome.
I feel like this movie did such a good job. It's like universally like pleasing. Like everybody can get into some sort of aspect of the film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just one of those films that just talks to everyone.
Yeah. Excuse me.
It's just so good. Like, I don't know what more you could really say.
It just kept getting better and better.
What is he eating though? Because I mean, there's no one living there anymore.
Well, I thought a new
Well-
family moved in.
Yeah, they do
Oh,
talk about
that's
a new
right.
family does move in, and he kind of forages through their through their kitchen. Oh, nice. So Sarah is watching along with us. Awesome.
Just watching us and doing chores.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I'm usually extremely chatty on these things, so I'm like, how could anybody watch me talk like while they're watching
That's
this
what I was thinking,
for
yeah.
the first time, you know? But that's why I always assume people watch this before.
If this is your first time, go back and rewatch it again after this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have to watch it with the the music, with the just the whole feel of everything, or the score, I guess.
I love how it comes back to the handle also, that he hid it there so he knew where it was exactly.
Yeah. I feel like they mentioned that one of the people that sell the homes, they knew that there was a cellar down there, but they neglected to mention that. I would try to think at any point like someone would actually try to go down there, other than someone that lived there, but I don't know.
Like they neglected bringing up the bomb shelter?
Yeah, bringing it up like in the initial cell. I think they do mention that at one point for the new family,
Yeah. It's like I don't think that it would even think about going down there unless they would have to.
I also thought it was very interesting that there's only one wheel to open that door, and it's on the inside of the shelter. Like the only
That's
way
true.
you can get it open is if you push it like with all your might. I thought it's almost like they were trying to keep it hidden. That's probably why they didn't know.
Yeah. Well, because you think about it, if it's initially a bomb shelter, bomb goes off, you go down there, right? You don't want anybody that's coming in that you don't know. You're not going to want them to have easy access to come in, So ironic that he's now in the place that they were, the people that live in there.
Germans eat more than sausage and beer. That's great.
What a relief.
Hey, well, at least he has a lot of books down there. I'm like looking around now. He has a lot of books to read down there. But they did say that they got Wi-Fi down there earlier in the movie. So maybe try to steal a computer and then just there you go. There's your entertainment, right?
You're gonna get through every movie ever.
Yeah.
With that kind of time.
Oh God, yeah. Also, not only like different genres that you're kind of going through, you're going through a bunch of different emotions. Because at this point, I felt like hope. I think we all kind of did. Where we're like, man, he's cracking the code. He found out that he's doing the Morse code, literally, and he's gonna get his father back. And then, not jumping ahead too much, but things happen, and it's like, man, what the like? I just felt like so helpless at the end of this movie.
Well, and two, it's like we don't really find out what really happens to the Park family after this, and I'm okay with that. Like I'm okay with it being more focused on what happens with the Kims.
I just love that the dad said the best kind of plan is no plan, and then his sentence starts with, "Dad, today I made a plan." Yeah,
that's funny. But what the father said, that is so true. If you live your life like that, I mean, well, I'm not saying that for every aspect of life, but it will cause you a lot less stress. I will say that, especially as you get older in life. I mean, some certain expectations will just drive you freaking crazy. I hope you guys are all at the same point that I'm at right now in this movie.
Yeah.
Where he's walking out down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
He got thinner too, right?
So good.
It looked like he got a little thinner.
Mhm.
It makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping that they kind of a little more realistic, but
Right.
I was hoping that the movie ended like this. I was gonna start bawling. Like I was already tearing up like a lot in this part here.
Yeah, I almost thought it was real, and then spoiler alert, it wasn't.
Spoiler alert, guys, in the chat if you have not seen this. And they even fade out to kind of give the illusion that it's over.
Yeah.
But nope, psych.
Man.
Oh, so good. So good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
You want to talk about an M. Night Shyamalan twist, man? Just take
Oh my
take
God.
notes from this guy, man. This is like that was excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I think I cried a little bit the first
Oh.
time I watched it. And I was like, oh my God,
Same
that
here,
was
man.
beautiful.
So there it is, guys. Parasite 2019. Did you guys enjoy it the second, third, fourth time you watched it? Whatever it was?
Heck
Yeah.
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 I get sick of it.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, same here. That's kind of interesting too. This is a movie that definitely has a lot of rewatch value when you think about it. You know?
I wish I would have gotten the opportunity to see it in theaters like Sean.
Yeah.
Same here. Yeah, I think we all envy that. So the movie is over, guys. Final thoughts on Parasite. Jaron.
It just gets better.
Like a fine
I
wine.
said, this is as close to perfect as a movie can get. I really enjoyed myself. I think every little detail was thought out perfectly. So well executed. I just love it. I don't have many words except for I loved it.
Was it better watching or worse watching with us?
I think it's better actually because you get different perspectives as you watch. Like you get
I'm
to have a
joking.
conversation about it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those things. I think people would mention before. Or I've met a couple of cinephiles that are like, usually after a really good movie, they'll go to like a coffee shop or get drinks or whatever, and then just kind of talk about the movie right afterwards. So when you've seen a movie a couple of times, these talk-alongs, watch-alongs are just really good. It's just like, to kind of get your thoughts on the table, see if you disagree or agree with certain things, and it's just great fun. But Sean, same question, man. What are your final thoughts now on Parasite?
Yeah, it's a great rewatchability film because it just you're immersed in what you're watching. And when I wrote a column about my 10 favorite films of the decade, and I put this at like number 9 or number 8, and I was like, is this recency bias or is the film actually this good? And this film actually is this good. Like, this is a film that we're going to be talking about for a while, and the terms classics and masterpieces get thrown around a little too liberally nowadays, but I think this is a film that could be the definition of a modern classic.
And that's interesting. Before I get to Hormania's thoughts, since he's had so many before this film, why does this one stand out in his repertoire? I wonder, like, as far as what gives it the standout value as opposed to Snowpiercer or Oakjaw or The Host or Mother, for that matter. Like, what do you guys think?
I think it's approachability. Like, this is a story that's easy for us to understand. Like, it's the rich versus poor dynamic, and there's definitely the twists that come along with it. But this is a film that could be really harmed by an American remake, but could also be something that could open the doors for people to take in more international cinema.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the fact that it's like relatable, like you can relate to it, and it's very realistic. This could easily happen to a family. So I think it's the realism in it.
Yeah, for sure. Hormania, what are your final thoughts on Parasite? How many times have you seen it, by the way?
This was only my second time watching
Okay.
it, but I did see it in theaters the first time, which I always pay attention a lot better when watching something in theaters. So
Yeah.
I remembered it fairly well. Honestly, I rarely ever give movies a 10 out of 10, but this is easily a 10 out of 10. It's perfect in every way possible. Story, character development, acting, cinematography. It just checks off everything. It's perfect.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Eve, same question. Your final thoughts?
This is my fourth time watching it, and it was like my first time watching it.
Oh,
I liked it. I liked
That's
it
cool.
because even though I've seen it, like there were certain things that I kind of forgot happened, you know?
Yeah.
And I just think that the way that the film was executed and created, it's just like it's always very fresh. It doesn't really matter how many times you watch it. It just seems like you're watching it for the first time. And I just loved everything about it. I agree with Mania. For me, it's hard for me to give something a 10 out of 10. Like I don't even give scores on my reviews at all. I steer away from that. But if I did, you know, Parasite would be a 10 out of 10 for sure. Perfection.
Wow. There you go, guys. Let us know in the comments or the chat. Let us know what you guys would score Parasite 2019. But we jump to my portion of the watch along where I like to do a little bit of trivia. So if you guys have a little bit of time, we can get through these. I believe it's about 20, 21 questions, but you know, so you guys will be able to answer a couple of questions. The way I did it was easiest, and then it gets a little harder. So if you guys do want to join in the chat, feel free to join along. But these questions are for the panel, so don't try to Google this or cheat. You know, we're gonna try to stay as clean as possible with this one. So let's start off with Jaren. Jaren, you ready, man? You are the one. You're the guinea pig.
Go.
You're the guinea pig, man. Here we go. All right. So question one, which I think is probably the hardest one. Actually, I might have lied. I'll start off with the hardest
Great.
one. The hardest
Great.
one for you.
All right.
So the hardest one is, who directed this film?
Oh. C.
C. Bong Joon-ho. Is that your final
Yes.
answer?
Yep.
All right. Let's see. Oop. Actually, hold on. Let me change something really quick. Sorry, I opened it in the wrong app. I'm already getting
The
technical
suspense is
difficulties.
killing me.
Yeah. I know you're unsure about yourself, but here we go. Okay. Let's try this one more time. Okay, so who directed this film that we just watched?
Bong. Let's see.
It
Am
is
I right?
Bong Joon-ho. C.
Oh,
very,
good.
very good. I was kind of like, I don't know if you had that one or not. All right, here we go.
Ah,
It was tough. Sean, you are up next, man.
Yo,
When was this film released? 2017, 2018, 2019, or 2002?
it seems like 20 years ago, but it was 2019.
Is that your final answer, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Here we go, guys. Boom, 2019. So those are the easy ones. Eve, you might not be so quick to answer this one. So let's jump to the next one, guys. Which award did the film win at Cannes? Now, if you have a physical copy, you'll see right at the bottom. It shows you the answer there. I'll just hint at that. Do you have it? No?
Oh,
Okay.
I have
Was
the
the
answer.
Palme d'Or, Lifetime Achievement, the Jury Prize, or the Best Actress?
Who is the question for?
Oh, it's for Eve.
Oh, for me. Okay. A.
Yeah. The Palme d'Or? I believe it's
wrong. Okay.
Oh, that's so wrong. That is so
Is
wrong.
it?
It's Palme d'Or.
Oh, wait.
Like, wait a minute.
I would have
I got
not known that.
I got a bootleg copy. Wait a minute. All right, here we go. You are up next, Mania.
Oh God. Okay.
How many Academy Awards did the film win? We talked about the Academy Awards, but I don't think we mentioned the number. So did it win 8, 0, 4, or 2?
You know, I'm actually not too sure, but I'm gonna go with C.
I'm trying to see
I'm
if this
not
has it on the
sure.
physical. No, it doesn't say on the physical.
I don't even
copy.
have the physical. So
Oh, okay. I would see if that was a hint or not. What did you say though? What was your answer?
I said C. It just seems like a more reasonable number, but I'm not sure.
4? Okay, let's see if she's right, guys.
I'm probably not.
Answer. Nope, you're right. The answer
Oh,
is
yay!
4. 4. Here you go.
Okay.
All right, back to Jaren. Let's see if he
Ooh,
has
okay.
it. See if he has it going. Which Academy Award did the film not win? The Best Original Screenplay, Best Actor, Best Director, or Best Picture?
I will go with B.
Best Actor?
No whammy, no whammy, no whammy. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man. The dad, I don't know, man. He did a pretty good job. He could have won Best. I don't know. Nope, Best Actor. You are
Joaquin
correct,
was just
sir.
too good.
There you go, Best Actor. So hopefully you guys are playing along in the chat. Well, at least to yourselves, because I don't hear anybody chattering about or chiming in a little bit. But if you guys are watching the replay, make sure you guys are writing this down and trying to guess them without Googling, of course. So we are up next with Sean. Which Korean film served as inspiration for the plot?
Ooh.
I did not know this one at all. Is it The Handmaiden, The Housemaid, Old Boy, or The Spy Gone North?
Oh, that's a good one. I have it down to 2. I'm gonna say The Housemaid.
The Housemaid. Okay. Have you guys seen any of these other films, by the way?
I've seen
I've
Only
seen
Old
The Handmaid
Boy.
and Old Boy.
I've seen Old Boy.
Oh, an Old Boy, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So you said B, The Housemaid?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. I don't even remember this one. Let me see what the answer is. The Housemaid. You got it.
Nice.
All right. Was that a pretty good one? I didn't check that one out.
That was pretty tough. I haven't seen that film, but that was a tough question.
Oh, okay, okay. All right. So next up, we have Eve. Here we go. Cinemantics. Which of the following is not a Bong Joon-ho film? The Handmaiden, The Host, Snowpiercer, or Okja?
A, The Handmaiden.
That was kind of an easy one. We were talking about it the whole night, so I feel like that was super easy. Yeah. Keep in mind Sarah does say The Handmaiden is really good, so we'll have to check that one out.
It's really good, yeah.
Mhm.
A lot of these had to do with the actors, and I felt like that would just be completely hard for us. Like, oh, who did so and so play? But I don't know if we know the actors like 100% their names, like off head like that. But all right, next up is Mania Daniel. What are I didn't put a dash right there, but Ki Woo and Ki Jung trying to find at the beginning of the film? The key to the apartment, the Wi-Fi, their father, or a letter from college?
B, the Wi-Fi, right? Is that what you were asking? Yes, I'm gonna go with B.
I don't know. That's your final answer?
Yes.
All right. Let's see if she has it, guys. The Wi-Fi.
I
Yep,
just
they're
didn't
looking for
remember their names. That's why I was like, wait.
I think it was like a pizza, like it was like some pizza shop or something they connected to, right? Or something? Or maybe it's coffee shop.
Something
I think so, yeah.
Coffee
Yeah.
shop, pizza
Some
shop.
type of shop, yeah.
Yeah. All right, man. You guys got these. These are easy for you guys. Keep in mind there was not that many like Parasite trivia quizzes out there. So, all right. Next up, we have back to Jaren. Man, Jaren talks movies. What infested the Kim's house? Was it stink bugs, moss? Can never pronounce that. Moss, mice, or cockroaches? Cockroaches.
Oh man. I'm gonna go with D. I forgot this one if I'm being honest.
Yeah, if you didn't really pay attention, because they do show what it was, the insect, but kind of hard to remember. You're gonna go with
I'll say
cockroaches?
D. Yeah.
Final answer.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I
On
don't
the
think
panel,
they
you think
remember.
he's a yeah? Some I see a couple of head nods and a couple of no.
I
Right.
I don't think it's mice. For sure, I don't think it's mice.
Yeah.
Okay. So
And
D
it's not
cockroaches. Not moss. Okay. I think he's going with D cockroaches.
Yep.
It was actually stink bugs.
Oh, okay. See, yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
they-
remember that.
They show a close up a shot of it at the beginning. He kind of flicks it.
Oh,
okay.
that's right. On the table.
Yeah.
It looks like
And
a
then,
cricket, though.
Here we go. Those Korean crickets look like stink bugs, I guess.
Stink bug.
All right, here we go. Next up is Sean.
Yeah.
So how much of I don't know why this didn't put the dash in there, of Chung Sok's payment does the representative from Pizza Generation deduct? So if you guys remember, they messed up a couple of the boxes.
Mm.
So how much did they deduct from their check? Was it 5%, 15%, 50%, or 10?
Ooh.
Numbers are always hard to remember for me.
It's either 10 or 15. And I'm going to go with 15. B.
15? Okay. Here we go. It's actually 10.
Ah.
Yeah. Like 5% off, man. You were very, very close. So that's a hard one to remember. That's hard to remember. I think I have a couple more. Yep. You got a couple more. So, Eve, you are up next. What is The Rock supposed to bring? So I think we had talked about this through the watch. Is it love? Is it babies? Wealth? Or joy?
I want to say C, wealth.
Okay. Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Okay. I would love if it brought babies, though. You just have a rock and then babies just start popping out everywhere. All right, here we go. So wealth. You're correct. Wealth. And it kind of brought them that for like a brief instant, right? Until everything went sideways. So.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think I have one more. Okay, here we go. So Mania.
Yeah.
How does Min Hyuk describe Miss Park? Stupid, boring, simple, or sexy? I think Min Hyuk is the daughter, right? I think. What do you say? And then Miss Park was the wife.
I would say C, simple.
Sure it's not sexy? That's what I was thinking.
It's not our opinion here.
I'm kidding. All right, so C, simple. Let's see if she got it.
Yeah, I think so.
C, simple. You got it. And it was simple for you to answer that. It's kind of an easy one. Oh, that's it, guys. You guys got my simple test.
We survived.
So you guys survived the Parasite trivia, and I want to thank you guys so much. We went about 2.5 hours. Thank you to everybody in the chat. And this does end off the first ever Guy at the Movies virtual film festival. You guys have fun. I know a couple of you guys were on the panels a couple of days ago. So how did you guys enjoy it so far? The ones that were part of the panel.
It was
I think
awesome.
Jared was part of one.
Yeah,
I think
did
Jared was part of one
watch-along
yesterday,
for
right?
Night Hunter. Yeah, we did the watch along for
Okay.
Night Hunter and then talked to the director. So that was a lot of fun. My
Oh,
first time
sweet.
talking to anybody in the film industry. So that was a big deal for me.
Oh.
Yeah.
So a first for that, and then a first that this was your first foreign film, right? You said too?
Yeah.
We're just popping your cherry left and right, man. There you go.
Yeah.
Get ready. Get ready for the future. All right.
Yep.
Well, thank you guys so much. I'm going to do my introductions now. So if you guys want to talk about where people can find you, once again, everything's in the description below, guys. But if you want to let people know what you got going on in your channel, maybe coming up or just currently, the floor is yours. So we will start off with Jaren Talks Movies.
Yeah, so everything movies you can find over my channel, new reviews, old reviews, rankings, reactions. If you like Lovecraft Country, I'm doing reviews of every episode as they come out, as well as I will be releasing a review for Tenet tomorrow. I'm really excited for that. I try to stay on top of all the new releases that come out in the theaters when they do come out in the theaters. But yeah, I've just been having a fun time over there, just reviewing as much as I can. And thank you so much for having me. This was a blast.
Of course, man. Anytime. Thank you for being here and having fun with us and chat along. All right. So, Sean, Movie Burb, I know it's been a minute, but I got you back here on, man, and I want you on for more future either watches or collaborations. You guys are always free to come on my channel to collaborate or talk any movies. That's exactly what I want to do from here on out. So, Sean, do you want to promote anything that you have on your page or your do you have a YouTube, Sean?
No, just
Okay.
on Instagram and my blog.
Okay. And your blog, that's right. So if you want to let people know what you got coming up or this week.
Yeah, totally. So movieburb.com is the blog, and at movieburb on Instagram. We got I'm actually going to be reviewing Tenet as well. If I crank it out on Monday, it might be Monday, but it more than likely would be Tuesday. Just so I can let the film process. And then got 100 Greatest Films of All Time coming in the month of September. I have some collaborations that I'm doing with some other channels on Instagram, and I got a few other things potentially up my sleeve as well. So September's always a busy month for me, and I got a lot of stuff coming up. So be looking
Very
out for
cool.
that.
And we totally forgot to talk about the Parasite graphic novel in the back. Or is that a graphic novel, or is that a?
It's the it's a graphic novel, but it's the storyboards of the film. So it's the storyboards and then the script along with it, and then about like 20 pages in the back. That's like the
cool.
photography of the film. You can pick it up on Amazon for like $15.
Oh, I'm
Wow.
gonna have to. I'm totally getting that like tonight. I think Sarah had tagged me on Instagram about that, and I was like, "What? I've never." I guess she was explaining that Bong Joon-ho pretty much draws out his storyboards, and he lets like the cinematographers know like how he wants his shots, but he has to draw them out first. I guess.
Yeah, I'll show you just really quick. Like,
yeah,
I don't know a particular scene, but just kind of what it looks like. But yeah, just
that's cool.
Sketches,
that's really
and
cool.
The script alongside it. Yeah, it's like
that's
200
awesome.
pages. It's pretty awesome.
Wow, very, very cool. I have to check that one out. All right, but Mania Daniel, you have a pop in Instagram. Let people know what you got going on your Instagram or what you have coming up. Possibly, the floor is yours.
You guys can find me on Instagram at Horror Mania. My page, again, it has anything from action, thriller, horror, and sci-fi movie content, anything from cinematic parallels or just my thoughts and opinions on movies. And like I said, October's coming up, so it's the month of Halloween, so it's my time to shine. I'm ready to bring some cool content for you guys via my Instagram account. So hopefully I'll see you guys there.
Most definitely. Are you looking forward to anything coming up in the next couple of weeks for September?
Honestly, not really. Even today, I was going through nothing new, honestly, because I was going through like different streaming sites to see what was new I could watch. But I'll be watching Mulan. I probably won't reviewing it on my account
that's right,
because it's not like in any of my content. But I will be watching that. But nothing really in the genres I cover that are really particular. I think that new Netflix movie is coming out though. I'm thinking of Ending Things.
I can't wait for that.
I'll be watching that and I'll be talking about that, but that's all I can think of right now that I'll be doing.
Okay, very cool, man. I totally forgot Mulan was coming out next weekend. I'm gonna have to check that one out. Really excited for that one. Ooh, yeah, I'm not excited for that price point though.
You have to watch it with the group, so then it'll be worth it.
Yeah,
that's true. Just make everybody pay a little bit. Yeah,
right.
There you go. All right, Eve, we got you in here on camera for your first watch along. Do you want to let people know what you got going on your page and what you got coming up?
Sure. So I'm Cinemanix, aka Eve. It's like my debut, I guess, of being on screen. So this is really cool. Thank you, David, for inviting me to this because I love Parasite and I've been wanting to do something like this. So thank you for that. So I mainly focus on independent films, indie films, and horror films. I love horror films. I have a soft spot for them. But most recently, I've been talking more about television. I feel like television is where it's at right now because there's not a lot of newer releases for films. And because I live in LA and you live in LA, there's a couple people here that live in California. Mm-hmm. We don't have theaters open right now, so we're kind of limited with our options. So right now, for me, at least, television series are where it's at. And so I've been kind of relying on that. So I'll be reviewing more television series, hopefully do more lives, maybe with a couple other accounts on Instagram. Maybe talk about, I already did one of Emmy predictions, so I'll probably do another Emmy predictions one and maybe do a post Emmys. Once they announce the winners, I'll probably hop on a live and talk about that and stuff like that. So hopefully you guys can follow me and we can talk movies because I love movies. That's my passion. That's like my love.
It's very sad that us Californians are not going to the theaters anytime soon. I was like getting ready to get my tickets at AMC, and then I'm like, nothing's opening. So it's
Nothing.
like, God. Oh, it's terrible. So it's back to streaming for a lot of us. So
No.
yeah, guys. But thank you guys so much once again for joining me, and thank you guys for joining me in the chat. Or if you guys are watching, on the replay, I hope you guys had a good time, especially with those extremely hard trivia questions that I had at the end there. Hopefully you guys had a good time, and we will leave you on that. And yeah, once again, first ever Guy at the Movies virtual film festival. That is a wrap. Bye, everybody.